College football Saturdays on Fox Sports Net. It's game time, baby. You ready? Let's go. You know when the action's on. Choose what side you're on. Speed and power, build a squad. Let's go, let's go. Work hard and change the all. Fans and cheerleaders are getting it on. 10 stars to the zone. The game is on. 60 minutes on the clock. Players looking in to steal the rock. Let the defense line them up. QB trying to pass them up. Come on. The fans and mascots are on deck. College football Saturdays on next.
Welcome to Phoenix, Arizona, where to the east of downtown is Tempe and Sun Devil Stadium. Arizona State brings the best pass rusher in college football, record setter Terrell Suggs. Today, it's a College Football Saturday presented by Kyocera with the California Golden Bears and the Arizona State Sun Devils. Hi, everybody. I'm Steve Fiziaki. It will be dramatic in the desert tonight. Two of the most potent offensive teams in college football on display. Arizona State is averaging 34 points per game. California averages 33 points per game. Well, joining me tonight is a guy who loves high scoring, loves guys who can throw the football, former All-American quarterback Tom Ramsey. And Rams, I wanted you to talk about Andrew Walter, a guy who's a surprising success story this year.
Well, Steve, both these teams have a lot of similarities between each other. Jeff Tedford and, of course, Dirk Cutter, both having been coordinators at the University of Oregon, and very high potent offense. But you mentioned the young Andrew Walter, and I say young, but he's very mature in this system. He's coming in, he's 4-2 as a starter this year. Only his 7th start this year. He had 2 last year as a freshman. Steve, he has been putting up tremendous numbers. And granted, a lot of it's the system, but when you throw for over 400 yards 3 times, it's astounding, number one. He has some great receivers. Look for Sean McDonald to catch a lot of passes tonight.
Their opponent, California, have gone from 1 win last year to 5 already this year, and a lot of the success surrounds Kyle Bowler's success this year.
It really has. Kyle Bowler has been a little bit maligned the first 3 years. The expectations were very high for him coming in to Cal, but this year he's really lived up to all the expectations. And I think he's benefited by Jeff Tedford and his system. They're spreading the ball across the field. They still utilize the run game. Joe Igber will be a big factor tonight.
Two of the real turnaround success stories in college football this year, California and Arizona State. Right now, let's go to our College Football Saturday studio and Chris Rose.
All right, guys, we'll see you shortly.
With the Ducks. Well, Arizona State won the toss. They deferred their decision to the second half, so they will be kicking off. And LaShawn Ward, who's one of the best kickoff return men in college football, 7th in the nation, averaging almost 29 yards per return. Here we go. Excellent kick. It'll be California football at their own 20-yard line to start this ball game. Kyle Bowler is the starting quarterback. He's thrown for over 2,000 yards this year, 19 touchdowns to 6 interceptions. His backs and receivers, watch Joe Igber, 670 yards rushing. Jeff MacArthur, 33 catches. Tom Swoboda is a big play tight end with 5 touchdowns. And this is a veteran offensive line. Mark Wilson, left tackle, 3rd year starting. Scott Tercero, left guard, 4th year starting. Here is Kyle Bowler, 4th year starter out of Hart High School in Newhall, California. Play action on first down and going deep. Incomplete, intended for LaShawn Ward, the senior from Pasadena. He has been their big play receiver this year, broken up by R.J. Oliver. And here is the ASU defense. Montesano and Jones are the tackles. Suggs and Verdon are the ends. We told you all about Suggs. He is fantastic. The linebackers, Unk, great linebacker name, and Bates, 260-pound middle backer. Shivers is a terrific free safety, only a sophomore. Alfred Williams is the big hitter.
And Steve,
there is Suggs.
I like how they start the game right out of the bat. Right out of the gate, they're going deep.
Joe Igber just about 3 or 4 yards, and that has been one of the keys to Cal's success. Even Dirk Cutter said he loves Jeff Tedford's football because he said he slipped the first 3 drives so beautifully.
I can see the numbers on paper in the first 9 games so far, averaging 4 yards a carry, 5 touchdowns. Yeah, you know, Kellen Winslow said it right before jumping back in the game here, Steve. Whoever rushes the ball today, if Cal's able to rush the ball, they may have a great chance to win because they'll neutralize Suggs, who's down here at the bottom of the screen.
Well, Egber is going to have to carry the ball a lot because they have some injuries at that position. Bowler fires intended for Swoboda, and a fine defensive play by middle backer Solomon Bates. He thought he should have had the pick. So it is 3 and out for California.
And watch it, you know, he's looking over here the whole way, Steve, and the ball comes out. That's just a nice play by the linebacker. And Solomon Bates, you know, he played a lot of snaps last week against Washington State. He was in for the entire game, and he's been sick somewhat with the flu. So, I mean, he had a tough go of it a week ago.
Tyler Fredrickson will punt it to Darrell Lightfoot. Lightfoot back near his 30-yard line, and a heck of a punt driving Lightfoot back to the 23. He escapes 1. Lightfoot spins to the 38-yard line, and Arizona State will have strong field position on the 14-yard return. Here is our Kyocera starting lineup for ASU. Andrew Walter, you see his numbers, and again did not even start until the 5th game this year, and 2,500 yards. His backs and receivers, watch for Sean McDonald, 10 touchdown catches this year, and Mike Pinkert is the tight end, has 5 TD catches. Chaz White, Regis Crawford, really tough tackles, but they are responsible for keeping Walter safe, who was sacked 8 times last week at Washington State in the loss in Pullman. They run on first down, and Cornell Kennedy is past the 40, gains 4 to the 42-yard line. California defensively 9th in scoring allowed at 26 points per game, but they do have a strong defensive lineman. Tully Banacane has 8 sacks this year. Tom Canada has 7. The backers are Daniels, Hunter, and Ugenti, and the safeties are excellent. And Watts and Asamoah is a fine cornerback. Walter gives it to Kennedy, tries to get outside, nothing doing. Matt Nixon was there, the outside linebacker from right here in Phoenix, Arizona, and Donnie McCleskey, the safety.
Well, Steve, Donnie McCleskey's that true freshman, Bishop Amon High in Los Angeles. Watch number 21 right here, come on up, and he stings candidate. Nixon comes over and cleans up over the top, but boy, Donnie McCleskey for a true freshman has played awfully well. Nixon has been the senior leader of that Cal defense.
Now 3rd down and 5. Walter dumps it off. It was kicked just at the line of scrimmage, and Walter at 6'5" thought he could throw it over. The linebacker was sprinting in Tom Canada, and Canada got his left hand up and just knocked it silly.
Now you wouldn't think that the 6'5" Andrew Walter would have a pass tip, but you know he doesn't have a super high release. He has kind of a low trajectory type throw. It comes off his shoulder, but he does throw a hard ball. That time unable to get the ball to the intended man, but here comes Tim Parker.
And here is Jameel Powell, who has a punt return for a touchdown in his career, takes this one at the 10. And he's lucky to get back to the 11-yard line. I thought he might stay outside, but he went back in and found the defense. We'll be right back. The Bears saying, let's go get them. The Bears have it for their 2nd offensive possession. And again, it is Kyle Bowler at quarterback. Big kid at 6'4", 225, the senior. 4th-year starter, starting at his own 11-yard line, goes to Egber, and Egber is past the 15 to the 17. For a Kyocera game break, let's go to our College Football Saturday studio with Chris Rose.
All right, guys, a shocker in College Station. Number 1, Oklahoma down 4, just over a minute to go. Nate Hibble picked off by Terrence Keel. They're celebrating in Aggie land. And Tom Ramsey, who would have thought that in 2 weeks we would have gone from 8 unbeaten down to 2?
Well, I surely wouldn't have, Chris, and I know the guys sitting around you there in studio wouldn't have thought that either. I mean, that's amazing.
And Ohio State almost lost to Purdue today. Notre Dame almost almost lost at Navy last week. 4 unbeatens went down.
You know what? And it might, yeah, I tell you what, very easily, there might not be any unbeatens by the end of the year.
Miami's at Tennessee today. We've got a good one here in the desert. Arizona State looking for a comeback after they lost last week at Washington State, maybe costing them their chance at the Pac-10 championship and the Rose Bowl in a 44-24 defeat. LaShawn Ward is wide to the right side. Egbert, not much. That backer got through in a hurry.
Steve, just great defense that time by the interior players. Solomon Bates, the middle linebacker. Shane Jones, number 99, the big defensive tackle. What Brent Guy, the defensive coordinator, wants to do is neutralize those A-gaps inside. And Jones, it's such a big player, 6'3", 285-pounder, just stuffing the hole.
So Cal must punt again. This has been their strength this year. Their success in the first half. They usually are a quick starting offense, but 3 and out on their first 2 possessions. Now on the return, Lightfoot. Oh, he is smothered right at the 36-yard line. Well, they were right outside the halo, I guess, because they got to him right now. Scoreless ball game, first quarter at ASU. This fall, get your NFL fix a day earlier with the most outrageous, unpredictable NFL pregame show. A guy like great wide receiver Michael Irvin and the defensive tackle Tony Siragusa. Bring on the funny guy Tommy Davidson. And tomorrow they'll be talking about Robert Griffith, the Browns in studio, Amon Green feature. And here's a catch by Sean McDonald. Paul Ugenti, the outside linebacker, was the man who tipped that ball, and then McDonald somehow is able to pick it up.
How good is Sean McDonald? Watch this. You know, Steve, you know how I feel about tip balls. They're usually interceptions unless number 81's on the field, and he just flat out beats Jameel Powell. They're both about 10, 400-meter guys. Sean McDonald, for the 2nd year in a row, over 1,000 yards receiving.
And he has hurt Cal in the past. They'll try the middle. They will not get the first down. They'll still need about another yard. 2 years ago, California lost to Arizona State, 30-10. Do you know Sean McDonald had 2 catches in that game for 122 yards?
Well, and here's a guy, as a sophomore a year ago, Steve, he was voted all Pac-10 first team. That's quite an honor. Right now, they got a tough 3rd and 2. Arizona State, you'd expect them to throw the ball here.
2 more than Ron Fair, and they're going to run the football, and Cornell Candidate cannot find an opening. He's wrapped up by Bannacane and Tom Canada, and Cornell Candidate is down.
And Steve, Cal sniffed that one out. It was a slow developing play. Slow developing. They try to get a little counter action. Tailback is going to try and go this way, and the linemen are pulling, but watch, Cal's blitzing. Marcus Daniels, number 50, comes right up the middle and just blows up the blocker. Oh, look at that. Marcus Daniels, and then allows Bannacane to come in, and he got a pretty good twist on Candidate's ankle when he went down.
And he is being helped off the field. Cornell Candidate is their leading rusher this year at 493 yards. He is just a redshirt freshman. Now they have a talented redshirt freshman behind him in Hakeem Hill, but he is not as strong a blocker as Dark Cutter wants from that position right now in his career.
Cornell Candidate, of course, the younger brother of St. Louis Rams' 2nd great running back, Trunk Candidate.
He played at Arizona. We saw his success there. Parker hitting it to Powell, and Jameel at the 22. Jameel has great speed and escapes to the 35, still on his feet, finally cut down to the 38-39-yard line by Ricardo Stewart, number 7.
You know what's amazing? No one's ever known how good Trunk Candidate can actually be with the Rams because of Marshall Faulk's greatness. That guy is unbelievable. But you mentioned Powell's speed here. Steve, watch him. He ends up getting up the field, putting some moves on, picked up some nice blocks too. And I think special teams always a factor in these games. These teams are so evenly matched. And of course, Dirk Cutter and Jeff Tedford Of course, Jeff Tedford replaced Dirk Cutter as the offensive coordinator at the University of Oregon under Mike Bellotti. So they know how to generate offense, but you got to have the guy pulling the trigger to get it started.
Bowler to a wide open Jonathan McConan, and McConan about 2 yards shy of the first down, tackled by Ricardo Stewart. On FoxSports.com on Lyco's question, is it fair, Rams, to fire a head coach for one bad season? Bobby Williams fired at Michigan State.
No, heck no. Bobby Williams, Steve, and you don't fire a coach in the middle of the season. Bobby Williams, we just worked his game last year, the Silicon Valley Bowl.
They beat Fresno State. Marvelous contest.
Teams just don't go bad overnight.
Play action. McConan, first down, past midfield, inside Arizona State territory for the first time tonight. Josh Golden on the tackle.
Let me just pay that off. Teams don't go bad overnight. Players go bad in seconds.
Sometimes teams can experience painful losses like Oklahoma did today. How about that? Losing at College Station.
I'm still in shock. And we both know it is. College Station is an awfully hard place to play. But RC Slocum, what happens if RC loses that game? Well, I mean, they're calling, they want
one bad season. RC has been a great coach there for years.
I won't even say it. But Gary Kubiak's phone could be ringing. Not today, though.
Again, this looks like Oregon's offense. The little play action, misdirection, throw back to the fullback. Well, the tight end.
Jeff Tedford and Dirk Cutter have a lot of motion, a lot of movement. They'll move the tight ends around. There's a look at Jeff Tedford. He was a great quarterback himself. And Jeff and I, of course, and a guy named Elway, all came out of the L.A. Basin at right about the same time. Tedford, of course, going to school at Fresno State, had a nice career on to the professional ranks himself.
Threw for almost 5,000 yards for the Bulldogs and 35 touchdowns. And now they'll run Igber, and Igber inside the 35-yard line, tackled by true freshman Nick Johnson. They say that big number 88 Nick Johnson might be the next great defensive end here at Arizona State after Terrell Suggs.
One followed the other. Dirk Cutter there from 96 to 97. Then he went on and became the head coach at Boise State, and Tedford jumped right in. So you'd think Andy Ludwig, the offensive coordinator with the Ducks now, who came from Fresno State after coaching David Carr to a great career, you'd think he's the next hot coaching candidate.
Blitz on, and Bowler pulls it away and goes to the right side. He will not gain anything. What happened there, Rams?
Well, they just tried to get option down to the short side, Steve. And you know how I don't like running any kind of option or pitch into that short side. And Kyle Bowler's not your option quarterback. He's not Chance Harridge at Air Force. He can't run that ball. He's not Carlisle Holiday. But you know what? Mason Hunt made sure he wasn't.
Cal is 0 for 2 converting third downs in this first quarter. Blitz on. Suggs almost got to him, then was knocked down. Ball is tipped and caught. Very close to a first down by Brandon Hall. That is the second tip we have seen in this game go to an offensive player.
And Steve, boy, you know what? Watch Suggs come off the ball. He ends up running into his own man. And then the ball, that's a pick.
Oh, I mean, man.
That Bowler got one. He got it. He got lucky. Brandon Hall, nice job.
R.J. Oliver almost stuck right in his face mask.
I think Cal goes for it right here, Steve. I think you have to move ahead here.
They do have a terrific kicker in Mark Jensen.
And R.J. Oliver gets the bump on LaShawn Ward. Oh, ball attacks man. Film at 11. Ouch. Look out, R.J.
You see the situation, and Cal will go for it. They have a little running back in Joe Igber at 5'8", 190. His backups are injured. This might be a Terrell Williams time, but Terrell injured his knee this week and is gone for the rest of the season.
How about a sneak?
All right. The fullback. And it looks like Chris Mandarino will get the first down.
Chris Mandarino, the fullback, lowered his pad level. They just gave just a little belly, little roll to the fullback. There he is coming off the field, and nice call. Nice call that time, Jeff Tedford.
That is only his 5th carry this year for now 13 yards, but they've been so beat up. I mean, they lost Terrell Williams, we told you about that, and they also lost Joe Etchema. He had appendicitis just yesterday, so he's not available for the rest of the year. Fake reverse, here comes Suggs, and they get the pass away. It is incomplete, but Suggs came on that speed rush from the right side.
Steve, Terrell Suggs is so good. T-sizzle off the corner. Watch Suggs. You know, Suggs is so good. I'm telling you what, I am so impressed with him. You know, he was a running back. He was a tailback in high school. Greater Phoenix 5A Player of the Year. He rushed for over 2,200 yards and 26 touchdowns.
Even at his size, almost 260 pounds, they say he still runs a 4.5 40. Find him. Where is he? Bowler back to throw. Running the screen pass. Incomplete. Solomon Bates. You know, Solomon Bates, when we first saw him, they said his weakness was defending the pass. He's made 2 fine defensive plays defending the pass in this game.
Well, you know, Arizona State's defense, Brent Guy, again, really, you know, he told us yesterday, Solomon Bates really going to have to step up, play his best game. Now, remember, Cal comes into today's game, Steve, #2 in red zone offense, striking on over 91% with 23 touchdowns. So they just need to get a first down here, 3rd and 10 for the Bears.
Watch 48, top of your screen, Terrell Suggs. Here he comes. Bowler steps up away from Suggs' pressure and throws incomplete. Jeff MacArthur at the goal line.
What a great play by Josh Golden. Josh Golden, Steve. Watch, Bowler gets flushed out. Here's Suggs off the corner. He has to step up. Moves, gets hammered when he throws. Josh Golden, number 23. That is as fine a play as you'll see by a college DB. Go up at the same time as MacArthur. MacArthur's a pretty good possession receiver, too. Big-bodied guy.
So here is Mark Jensen. And he misses wide right. Jensen had come into this game making 14 of 18, but he misses his first attempt from 41 wide right. Scoreless in the desert, but Arizona State may be without a running back. What is Cornell candidate status, Lewis Johnson?
Well, that's a good question, Steve. I should first preface this by saying Arizona State's policy is that they do not release injury information, but here's what I saw. They cut the tape off of his left ankles, and when the trainers tried to push up on his foot and ask him to push down, he was in obvious pain. I don't believe in speculating, but based on my experience as a runner, the characteristics say that there's some sort of sprain. You can see him now with ice bags on the ankle, and who knows if he makes it back in the game. Steve?
And Lewis Johnson knows all about running. He was one of the great track stars for the Cincinnati Bearcats we won't talk about how many years ago. It's Andrew Walter time, the sophomore from Junction City, Colorado. Took over Game 5 as the starter, and it was very interesting because his coach, Dirk Cutter, said every time he would come in, he would do something that would spark the team.
Well, I like Andrew Walter, Steve. You know that from talking to him yesterday. Let's listen to Dave Catile.
Illegal formation offense. Only 6 players on the offensive line of scrimmage. That penalty's declined. 2nd down.
And we have a final score from the Palouse. Washington State holds off Oregon, and the Cougars are unbeaten in Pac-10 play at 6-0 and 9-1 overall. Their only loss at Ohio State. Washington State probably will be moving up with Oklahoma's loss to Texas A&M today.
That loss to Ohio State doesn't look so bad now, does it?
Here's Andrew Walter going deep. He loves to go deep to this man, Sean McDonald. Overthrows. But as we take a look at the Pac-10 Conference, last week these two teams, ASU and WSU, were battling for the conference lead. Washington State beat Arizona State 44-24. So ASU needs Washington State to lose their last 2 ball games or it's over. It's the Cougars.
And Arizona State right in the thick of things. They're 4-1 coming into today's game. Cal has a chance to really improve themselves as well. And, you know, think about this though. Arizona State, the big motivating factor today, it's senior day. It's their last home game this year. They go on the road for a couple more.
And Walter will go down, sacked by Josh Gustavson. Speaking of seniors, here's a senior from Bluffdale, Utah, at a Snow Junior College, making a big hit on Andrew Walter.
All right, we're always talking to these defensive coordinators, and Bob Gregory's no different. 4-man rush. If you can sack the quarterback with a 4-man rush, Gustavson right there going up top, going big on big there on Walter. And, you know, that's a huge play. When you can rush 4, you put the offense in a bind.
And here is the punt. And here is Jameel Powell on the return. There is a flag down, and Powell goes down inside ASU territory, but they may be starting their offense from back in Cal territory.
And Steve, what happened? They almost blocked the punt, but I believe they roughed Tim Parker. They nailed him. Now, if they got a finger on the ball, they may wave that flag off, but they didn't touch it. I'm sure it's going to come back and be a penalty against the Cal Bears.
Defense, that penalty's declined. First down.
First down. Dave Kataya, the referee, he's the chief of police up at Martinez, California. Oh, look at it, they never touched him.
Nope.
Well, how do you get a, what?
He got right over him.
Uh-oh. Dave Kataya was the one that threw the flag. Let's see if he touched him. Oh, now.
Look, that's a great hurdle.
That's pretty good. You know, Dave Kataya, the referee, Steve, he's the chief of police up in Martinez, California. That's up near Gilroy. You've been through there, right? Garlic capital of the world.
No, it's actually up near Concord.
It's further up?
Yes.
Well, Jeff Chapman, the good Bay Area guy. Thank you, Jeff, for correcting me. Really?
Really. Egbert. Really.
Well, anyhow, Martinez is safe. It's a safe place. Let's put it that way.
Well, most of us expected a high-scoring game today, but not the case so far, although Cal is inside ASU territory. We told you, 2 high-scoring teams. ASU averages 34 points per game. California, led by Bowler, 33 points per game. And Cal so strong on their first possessions, but that was the direction for Dirk Cutter. He talked to his defense about, fellas, we got to stop them early.
Cal scoring in the first half, very dangerous. A lot of 2 tight ends tonight to neutralize Terrell Suggs. Rushing off the corner.
Bowler rips it as receiver can't hold on. It was Jonathan McConan, who usually has outstanding hands. Our Pac-10 scoring leaders, Oregon 38 points per game, but they were held down to just 21 today. Washington State 35 points per game. Jason Gesser turned the ball over twice for 2 Oregon touchdowns, but they are still unbeaten in conference play.
Boy, you know, you look at all that scoring, all that offense. The Pac-10 is still the best conference in the country.
3rd down and 8. Bowler gets it to Egbert, and Egbert driving forward. He will not get the first down, still be about 2 yards shy.
Maybe a long yard, maybe a 4th and a long one. And again, if you have a little momentum here, Steve, remember Brother Mo, how important Brother Mo is, Brother Momentum. You got a senior quarterback in Kyle Bowler. Jeff Tedford, I love it. He doesn't hesitate. They're going for it on 4th down.
They have already had great success and a tremendous turnaround. One win last year to 5 already this year. 4th and 2 going for it.
Gotta be quick rhythm. Don't give Suggs a chance.
And they're throwing to Suggs' side, and it's incomplete. They'll turn it over to ASU. Looking for Brandon Hall. You know what? He's under a great deal of pressure.
Who?
Bowler. Even when he has been delivering it, he's been hit.
Oh, I thought, you know, I actually, what I thought you were meaning, since I saw a shot of Tedford, there's this pressure on every head coach. There's pressure on him. There's pressure on every quarterback. There's pressure on pressure's everywhere. You know what, though? Tedford, He is one cool customer, Steve. Jeff Tedford is, I like he and Dirk Cutter, two of the youngest coaches around in the country, very deserving of their positions.
Now Andrew Walter, he has to scramble away from pressure. A flag will go down, and it is incomplete as Andrew just throws it away. You know, here's a guy we were talking about didn't start until the 5th game, and then he had a situation in the San Diego State game when they were down 22-0. And Dirk Cutter looks over his shoulder, and Walter had sprained his ankle earlier in the week. And he said, I gave Andrew a look, and Walter looked at me.
Offense. Penalty 10 yards from the previous spot. Repeat, first down.
So they'll walk it back 10 yards, but he said, he gave me a look, and I knew that he wanted to go in the game, even though he had the banged up ankle. And Dirk Cutter went over to him and said, I'm embarrassed to ask you this, but we need you to go in. And he said, Coach, I'm ready. He went up. First play of the game. First play comes in, throws 71 yards to Sean McDonald.
I told Andrew Walter yesterday, he threw for 536 yards.
Almost intercepted by Calvin Hosey. But we talked with Dirk Cutter about his sophomore quarterback, Andrew Walter.
Andrew Walter is a success story for everybody out there, every player at any level who's about ready to give up, who thinks, you know, we've all heard it, I'm not getting a fair shake, the coach doesn't like me, the offense isn't right for me, whatever. Andrew Walter hung in there and believed in himself and got the thing changed around, and when he got his chance, made the most of it. And it's a great story, and I give him all the credit.
And he deserves it because he is a young man who has been very patient waiting his time, and now he will be sacked one more time. That is Tully Bantigane's 9th sack. Well, he's a little behind the great Terrell Suggs at sacks, but 9 sacks in the season is outstanding, and they are really working out. Andrew Walter is now minus 14 yards total offense for ASU.
Cal's defense bringing it. Hey, Steve, I had chills when Dirk Cutter was talking just, you know, think about the things he was saying, though. Tully Bantigane, first 9 games, 14.5 tackles for loss. But Andrew Walter persevered through the hard times. This is a hard time right now, 3rd and 27 for Walter. You're not going to go for all of it, get half of it.
And they have to call a timeout on 3rd and 27. They could not get together. They had Taplin going motion left, right. Dirk Cutter is unhappy as his quarterback will come to the sideline to talk with him. College football.
31-53 at Oregon. 5:36, a Pac-10 record.
And a 45-42 defeat at Autzen Stadium. Incredible. Now Walter play action, sacked again. Tully Bantigane's 10th this year. That is the 3rd sack by Cal's defense.
Hey, even more remarkable, Steve, that game at Oregon, they were down by 21.
Yep.
Wow, look at the rush again. 4-man rush. Right now, you know what? The tackles for Arizona State, they've been a concern. They've been a concern. Jeff Grimes, the offensive line coach, doing a great job, but he's got some young guys.
Powell's got a lane down the left sideline. Jamil inside the 30-yard line, and Cal will have terrific field position.
Very gifted athlete.
22 yards on the return. They break the huddle from the sideline. One back is Igber. MacArthur motion, now he's in the slot. Bowler looking that way, instead throws to the tight end. First down, Swoboda at the 16-yard line. He only had 8 catches all last season. And Jeff Tedford said, when I saw him first run, I said, who is that guy? He looks like a giraffe. He said he has made himself a better runner, a better tight end. They run Igber, and Igber is inside the 15 to the 11.
And he may be the most improved player on that Cal team.
And there are a lot of most improved players.
A lot of good players.
This is a group that has won 4 games total the last 2 years. 1-10 last season.
Well, remember now about their productivity in the red zone, even though Jensen missed the field goal earlier in the quarter. Right now, Cal knocking on the door.
They are 92% scoring machine inside the red zone. Bowler to the air looking for McConan, and it is incomplete.
Swoboda and Hall And that's just really to neutralize Terrell Suggs.
Hall is on the right, Swoboda on the left. Here comes Suggs right side. They throw over the middle. Touchdown, Tom Swoboda.
Nice throw, nice, really nice catch. Really nice catch. Watch this. He runs a little wheel route. He's going to end up right. That is a great catch. Boy, tough hand position, and Ricardo Stewart riding him like a cowboy.
And did you know in every game they played this year, California has scored first? 10 for 10 at scoring first, and now Jensen for the point after, and Cal takes the early lead over Arizona State 7-0.
A minute 9. They had the short field there. You got to make Cal go the long field. Have to.
Jensen hammers it to Lightfoot 4 yards deep, and he's coming out. Not a wise move. They have not had good field position to start with. When you take it to 4 yards, 5 yards deep, go to a knee.
Yeah, they're not playing smart right now. And Dirk Cutter alluded to that the other day. He said
on offense has 93 yards total. Arizona State minus 22. They've been going backwards. Now they've got a new running back, and they continue to make mistakes. You know, last week when they made those turnovers that hurt them early against Washington State, the Cougars scored 17 points off turnovers, 2 fumbles, 2 interceptions.
Dead ball. Ball start. Offense. Bentley's 5 yards. Remains first down.
Big game as they go for 8 wins. Hey, the Holiday Bowl is here. They're talking about Arizona State.
That's right, John Reed from the Holiday Bowl.
Holiday Bowl against the Pac-10 second place team. Walter down the middle, completes the pass, and it is the true freshman wide receiver from Palmdale, California, Derek Hagan, with his 20th catch this year.
It's the Pac-10, and I know I'm a cheerleader here, but you talk about the exciting brand of football. I mean, this year in the Pac-10, a record 10 400-yard passing days. This year, Andrew Walter has 3 of them.
That's the end of the first. You're watching College Football Saturday, presented by Kyocera on Fox Sports Net. Here's the FedEx Ground and Air stats. California, 93 total yards offense, and Arizona State, because of the sacks, they're going backwards.
Steve, that right there, rush yards minus 20, and that's a result of the sacks. And pass yards, though, Andrew Walter, you know, having been sacked 3 times, haven't been able to protect him. He's only 2 of 6 for 14 yards. Now remember, I just mentioned before we went to break, he holds 3 of the current 400-plus games in the Pac-10 this year.
On 2nd and 8, he's the first Arizona State quarterback with 3 400-yard games. And here he goes to his running back, Hakeem Hill, the redshirt freshman. Let's go to the Kyocera game break.
All right, guys, in Pullman, Jason Gesser, TD pass in his 22nd consecutive game. 2 of his 4 today went to Mike Bush. 1 more conference win. They are stopping and smelling the roses. And don't forget about USC. Carson Palmer with his 10th TD pass in the last 3 games. Tom Ramsey, are we talking Heisman Trophy for Carson Palmer?
Well, I think between Carson Palmer and Jason, you got some good candidates here in the Pac-10. Really good.
Well, Jason Gesser now over, 2,700 yards passing, 23 touchdowns this year. So here's Andrew Walter, who's lit up the Pac-10, and he completes the pass to Sean McDonald, and McDonald gets the first down near the 30-yard line. How about Ken Dorsey? He's got to go today against Tennessee.
Well, Ken Dorsey has his work cut out for him, without question. Right here, here's the attribute that Andrew Walter has. Look at the strength of his arm. I mean, that's off the far hash, and that's a wide out, okay? That ball, you know, you're 30 yards in the air on a rope. Talking about Carson Palmer, no, Steve? Look for him to be maybe the top 3 pick in the NFL draft. How's that?
Think that highly of Carson Palmer.
Yeah.
Well, he's playing marvelous football at USC.
You want another one out of
I think they're even with Washington State as the best team in the Pac-10 conference right now.
You want another one out of my crystal ball?
Kyle Bowler?
Kyle Bowler, maybe a top 10 pick in the NFL.
That's saying a lot.
Yeah, it is, and I'll tell you why. Have you watched the NFL play this year on Fox? Have you seen NFL Sunday games on Fox? Look around. There's a lot of quarterbacks struggling right now. Kyle Bowler, Carson Palmer are quick fixes. They come in, they've had great technique training, great thoroughfare training, throwing down the field here in the Pac-10.
Walter with time. Got it in the hands of Mike Pinker. Matt Nixon might have gotten there a little earlier, and that's what he's complaining about, but Nixon with the breakup.
And more importantly, their gamesmanship and maturity. And I'll tell you what, Andrew Walter, third year in the system here, redshirt sophomore. He's along the same path here. I told Andrew Walter yesterday, I said, you run enough? You remind me of Chris Wenke. Chris Wenke, number 16, Florida State a few years ago. His maturity, yeah, he's only about 20 years, what, 10 years younger than Wenke? I'm kidding. Andrew Walter, though, is a guy who has great maturity right now. 3rd and 11, you just got to pick up a first down, get this thing going.
Bring it hard from the outside and dump it off to Hakeem Hill. And Hill is cut down beautifully by Wendell Hunter. And if Hunter doesn't get him by a shoelace, it's first down, Arizona State.
You know, Steve, experienced QBs turn into Pac-10 champions, right? And Andrew Walter here, he's still young. I like the play call, but they didn't have enough blocking out front. But I'll touch it in a minute.
Here's the punt. And somebody ran into Jameel Powell. There's got to be a flag, and there it is. Now, I was not sure, Rams, if it was a California Golden Bear backing up on his blocking and touching Jameel Powell.
He got knocked into it.
Yeah, it looks like Powell was the celebration.
Look at Mike Carney, number 44.
Is he huge?
He looks like you.
Yeah, right.
There is no foul in the play.
You're kidding.
The player that entered the 2-yard belt was blocked into the 2-yard belt. First down.
It is a first down for Arizona State. A huge turnover here. Sun Devil football when we come back in. Great field position.
Stop. I'm not kidding. It's cool. It's science. Oh, that's not cool.
Presenting Docker shirts with Stain Defender. Don't be the one without it.
He's on.
Hey,
Be like, guys, 6 nights in a row? Isn't Hell Week over? Let's go to Subway. Anything that's not round and greasy.
How about a hot, mouth-watering Dijon horseradish melt or sweet onion chicken teriyaki?
Thanks a lot, man. Thank you.
Sun Devil fans, the college basketball season is just around the corner. With an exciting mix of new and returning players, we intend to be one of the best teams in the Pac-10 this season.
Our Sun Devil women's basketball team will be vying for our 3rd straight Pac-10 championship. We also have an amazing home schedule featuring Georgia and national champion Notre Dame.
Family plan packages start at just $75 per person for both men's and women's basketball. So call the Sun Devil ticket office and order your tickets today.
Be a part of the home team, Sun Devil basketball.
Deportes Telemundo, once again, makes television history. With all the action and all the excitement of the world's best players.
La NBA en Telemundo.
15 exclusive games, all live.
En vivo.
All en español.
En español.
And it's all here.
Viva la acción del NBA en Telemundo.
La NBA en Telemundo, beginning November 10th.
You're watching Fox Sports Net.
Jeff Tedford was furious with the official. Did he have an argument?
Well, Steve, I think so, because you're going to see Derek Hagan, number 80, push Christian Eriksen into Jameel Powell. I mean, he pushed him. Why? Look. That's a straight arm shove. The ball hits Eriksen. Live ball, right? Live ball. Arizona State recovers. End of story. Arizona State first down.
Andrew Walter goes to Hakeem Hill, and he is tackled by Matt Nixon, the linebacker here in Phoenix at this nearby Sunny Slope High School. A big turnaround because Cal, one of their reasons for success this year has been their efficiency. They don't turn the ball over. That's just their 12th turnover this year.
Yeah, and they've had enough. You know, they're number 4 in the country in in turnover margin.
And last year they were second to last.
Plus 15. Plus 15 coming into tonight's game.
Both these teams great success when they force turnovers. Walter looking deep, has a man open. Sean McDonald, touchdown!
Steve, the result of turnovers, points after the turnover, real costly here. Jamil Powell gets lost, but look at who scores. Sean McDonald, over 1,000 yards again this year, the wideout, 28 yards strike by Andrew Walter.
He is Andrew Walter's big play guy. That's 11 touchdowns for Sean McDonald. And a point after by Barth to tie the game. 7-7 Cal and ASU. Andrew Walter's 22nd touchdown pass this year. He ties it at 7 at home at Sun Devil Stadium, making Sparky happy. How about Andrew Walter's throw?
Well, Steve, watch this, because we got a receiver here, receiver here. Now, what are they going to do? They're going to cross. Remember the old, you know, you go this way, I go that way, and let's see if we can't lose a defender here. And that's exactly what happens. Sean McDonald, you cannot leave him. Well, you got to be right on top of him. And Andrew Walter, again, amazing me with the strength of his arm. The Nissan scoring drive, 2 plays, 27 yards, only 46 off the clock. Remember, the result of the muffed punt by the Cal Bears.
Sean McDonald now 3 touchdowns shy of the Arizona State record set by Keith Poole and Doug Allen. They had 25, and that was the 22nd in Sean McDonald's career. On the return, James Bethea gets it up past the 10-yard line. And LaShawn Ward, with 11:36 remaining in the first half, it's a 7-7 ball game. Fox NFL Sunday returns this weekend when JB, Terry, Howie, and Jimmy get you ready for kickoff. This week we'll take a look at the rise and fall of Vikings quarterback Dante Culpepper. Plus, we'll talk with members of the Steelers defense about how they plan to stop Michael Vick and the Falcons. Fox NFL Sunday returns this weekend at noon Eastern, 9 Pacific. Followed by exciting NFL action as most of you will see the Lions take on the Packers and the Redskins battle the Jaguars. Joe Aikberg, not much.
That's my spot, right there.
It's inexpensive.
Guy's got a couple of 12 packs right there. You know what? He's just kicking it. He's just kicking it up there. Probably has a little transistor radio.
No, he's listening.
Maybe he's got a little satellite. You know what? I bet you he's got a little little DBS working. He's hitting off a satellite, getting the Fox Sports Net feed.
Who knows?
That's what I'd be doing.
Maybe they now have cactus satellites. What if his cactus uses satellites? Oh, and somebody's down. Where you are at number 20. It is 2nd and 7. 28 yards on 8 carries for Aikberg. He's just 2 yards shy of 700 yards rushing this year. And Bowler throws to his tight end. And Swoboda, who scored the touchdown earlier, gets the first down or very close. They'll mark it right out at the 30-yard line.
Hey, Steve, little, watch this. Neutralize Suggs again. He was on the offside that time. And you know what? Who does that look like? Little San Francisco 49er, little Denver Bronco, kind of slipped the tight end. Although Swoboda's not quite the athlete Shannon Sharp is.
There you go.
Doesn't run quite as well.
That surprised look.
But
Swoboda can play.
Well,
he is the most
284, 220, 221.
Option. Aikberg. He had great jukeability because he should have been stuffed at the 30-yard line, but Aikberg got his helmet knocked off and still gained about 2-3 yards.
Joe Aikberg, the pride of the state of Hawaii. They love him over there, as they should. Watch the ISO on Suggs. Boy, don't try. Yeah, I don't blame you, Kyle. I'd pitch it quick, too. That's what was nice about the piece we aired for College Football Saturday this morning. Talking to Terrell Suggs, I said, hey, Terrell, just one quick question for you. I said, you know, do you like quarterbacks? Yeah, I actually do. He goes, yeah, I actually do. Not on the field.
He used to take handoffs from quarterbacks, and he was the top running back in this area. Oh, and McConan has dropped 2 passes. It will now be 3rd down and 8. Jonathan, very sure-handed.
He's having a nice year. Conan comes into tonight's game, 41 catches, over 500 yards, 13 yards a catch. And he has been a real possession guy, Steve. Like you said, he was a JC guy, came in, really helped out the program. And
well, he works out in the offseason with one of the hardest working NFL players in the history of the game, the great Jerry Rice. Rice, the great 49er and now Oakland Raider. Conan showed him his work ethic. Turned him into a fine Pac-10 player. Now 3rd down and long. Bowler going downfield. Intercepted! Brett Hodson's 4th pick this year.
Now they like Hudson, Steve, because he's a big-bodied guy, but here he is. He's playing that boundary corner in Brent Guy's defense, and Bowler gets fooled a little bit. I thought he got fooled. That's a nice pickup coming in. He's another JC guy coming in this year for the Sun Devils.
Let's see if ASU goes deep after the turnover. Andrew Walter going deep, and he had Pinkert out there. Pass interference on Donnie McCluskey.
That flag hurts. I guarantee you Jeff Tedford right now is not happy. Pinkert, he caught 2 touchdowns last week against the Cougars up at Washington State. They got him ISO'd. Oh, McCluskey didn't even touch him. Where's the flag? Or what's the flag? Oh, wave it off.
Pass interference, defense. Penalty's 15 yards. Bring your spot. Automatic first down.
You know, we've seen a couple phantom, it's hard being a ref. I would never want to be one,
but you know what takes the heart out of Jeff Tedford? Turnover, touchdown.
Yeah.
Turnover, and ASU's about ready to score again. They're on the 23. Turnovers have either win games for you or they absolutely kill you.
Well, and usually that's Cal's game. They've been on the plus side of all the turnovers and the points off of turnovers.
They have had the best turnaround swing in the Pac-10 Conference. They were minus 17 in turnovers last season. They are plus 15 this year before tonight. They're minus 2. Jeff Tedford knows and said, this is the reason for our success. Second to last year, 114, and they're 4th best in the country.
114th out of 115 teams last year.
You know, I asked Bob Gregory, his defensive coordinator, about that, and he said, we've emphasized to the kids, strip the ball, go for it, and go ahead and take chances. We're not going to, don't worry about coming to the sideline and being disappointed that we're going to get mad if we're taking a chance. There's a chance taken to Frank Maddox, and Maddox is inside the 10-yard line. 1st and goal, Sun Devils.
Your full Monty of plays down there. It puts a lot of pressure on the defense.
I hope they don't play like the full Monty. It's a family program. Here we go. Trying the middle is Mike Williams. Williams came in for the injured Cornell Kennedy. And there is Mike, who is a experienced running back. Came in with 269 yards, but had over 500 yards rushing in his freshman season.
Well, and let me, Southern California kid himself, Lakewood High, right? Mayfair High in Lakewood. Steve, the similarities with these programs, what they did all week this week, they practiced Monty of plays down there. It puts a lot of pressure on the defense.
I hope they don't play like the full Monty. It's a family program. Here we go. Trying the middle is Mike Williams. Williams came in for the injured Cornell Kennedy. And there is Mike, who is a experienced running back. Came in with 269 yards, but had over 500 yards rushing in his freshman season.
Well, and let me, Southern California kid himself, Lakewood High, right? Mayfair High in Lakewood. Steve, the similarities with these programs, what they did all week this week, they practiced ones versus ones against each other. Number one offense against number one defense to get the speed, the tempo, and they didn't have to draw up plays because each team is so similar to one another.
Now on 2nd and goal. Williams to the left. Run out of bounds near the fly. Fine defensive play. James Bethea, quarterback from Reseda. Yeah, you were talking to me about that. You really thought it was important to scrimmage ones versus ones, and both Jeff Tedford and Dirk Cutter did that this week.
They did it a ton, and you know that you can never get game speed in practice. It's virtually impossible. But the closest thing to it is ones for your best players against your best players, and you don't want to overload it too much, but it really does give you the best work.
3rd and goal.
Chad Christensen.
Option.
Chad Christensen.
Chad, yeah, he came off the bench.
Yeah.
The redshirt freshman from Scottsdale, and he has delivered a blow by Wendell Hunter. This guy is a big game hunter.
Well, you know I love Wendell Hunter. Carson, California, Carson High School. Watch Wendell Hunter just come into your screen here. Hello, Chad Christensen. Who do I compare Wendell Hunter to, or it reminds me of? Ronnie Lott. Yeah, the way he hits. Oh, he just blows through people. I think he's one of Cal's best players.
Now Mike Barth for the lead from 22 yards out. You see his field goal efficiency this year. It is up. It is good, and ASU has the first lead of the night. When we return, we'll send you back to Chris Rose at our college.
Arizona with Steve, Tom, and Lewis.
And Chris, we are here at Sun Devil Stadium, where ASU has received 2 turnovers from California and turned them into all of their 10 points. Cal fumbled a punt. Arizona State scored a touchdown. Cal with an interception, and that was by Brett Hudson. Arizona State kicked a 22-yard field goal. Cal says, we've still got time. If Cal wins tonight, it will be the first time in school history the Bears would have beaten 3 nationally ranked teams on the road in one season. How about that? They've been playing college football for 120 seasons.
Pretty impressive.
But then the rankings didn't come out in the 1880s, I don't believe. I don't think they had the ratings in 1884.
I don't think the BCS was around in 1884.
Thank goodness. Let's go to Lewis Johnson.
Hey, Steve, Sports Illustrated recently listed the best college sports facilities in the country, and the Sun Devils have the #1 weight room in all of college football. Look at the large strength center, 16,000 feet, 1/3 of an acre. Man, they dropped $650,000 just in equipment. Nobody spent more. Each lifting station is $15,000. There you see the sprint track, but the thing that takes it over the top, a juice bar? That's right, they have special drinks for every varsity sport, even body types. And Dirk Cutter says that the wow factor in having something that big is huge in recruiting. See?
And Lewis, I want you to know that Tom Ramsey lifted over 11,000 total pounds today, but
I'm feeling
7,000 of those pounds were at the juice bar. Inside the 50, Kyle Bowler ready to attack, going deep. Caught by LaShawn Ward, touchdown!
What a throw. You want to know why he's going to be a top 10 pick in the NFL draft?
Because of throws like that.
That's huge. Oh. And you know what's amazing about this? They know LaShawn Ward's a deep threat. They know they're going to take some shots deep. Watch LaShawn Ward. This is a great catch. He bobbles it just a hair. They went over the top of Josh Golden. Bowler knew it right when he threw it, Steve.
Wow. They come right back.
And that was huge.
And we knew we'd see a lot of points with California and Arizona State. They had slow starts, but all of a sudden they have picked it up. It is 14-10, Golden Bears over Arizona State. Beautiful throw by Kyle Bowler for his 20th touchdown pass. 21st this year. He has some quick strike offenses. How about this one, a 47 by Bowler?
Well, Steve, watch. You're going to end up, LaShawn Ward, he's going to take off down the field, and you're going to have the throw that's just right on the mark. I mean, he just launches it. It looks like Cape Canaveral, man. That was a rocket.
3-2-1 touchdown. How about that? Scoring drives today. California, their first drive, 4 plays, 33 yards. This was a 1-play drive for 47 yards. And Arizona State, their quick strike offense, 2 plays, 27 yards, 6 plays, 33 yards, resulting in a field goal. So now Andrew back to work from his own 20. Now showing blitz. Now they drop off and protect that left side. And Walter throws, and the catch is made in the left flat by Hakeem Hill.
Hey, Steve, that piece that Lewis Johnson did a moment ago on the weight room of Arizona State, we've said this the last couple of years. It's an arms race. I mean, there are programs all over the country loading up. Big weight rooms, big training rooms. And you know what? It means so much to organizations and schools because of the revenue that football and basketball bring in. But more importantly, I talked to Gene Smith, the athletic director of Arizona State, who's a former national champion football player from Notre Dame in 1973. I said, hey, Gene, you're on the map now. He said, Tom, we're out to win a national championship. And right there, that to me shows commitment. And you know what? It's every team up and down the coast, but it's a lot of teams across the country.
There's no question, because ASU has the opportunity to be great, and there is your leader at the top, Dirk Cutter. Well, today's Subway trivia question: Andrew Walter holds the Pac-10 record for most passing yards in one game with 536, but David Klingler broke the record against Arizona State with 716 yards passing. And that is a first down for ASU.
I was going to say, you know, David Klingler played at University of Houston. I was going to guess a BYU quarterback.
That's a good. I was just going to guess Houston because of that one era with Andre Ware with David Klingler.
Gifford Nielsen, Jim McMahon,
Steve Young.
Nah, Steve Young was more of a run.
Okay, but he still threw for a lot of passes. Norm Chow had a lot of big quarterbacks there.
Steve Young would have been a great tailback. Hey, he was a good quarterback. He was a great quarterback.
Good quarterback?
I'm just having fun.
He was awesome. But he became even Norm Chow said he became a great quarterback in the San Francisco system, learning behind Joe Montana with Bill Walsh.
You know what? If I was Joe Montana's backup, heck, I'd still be playing. Yeah, sure. Jeff George is still playing.
That's true.
That's who kicked me out of the NFL.
Yes, but you made it on your brain. Jeff made it on his arm.
So you're saying I wasn't a real athletic player.
You're a cerebral quarterback.
There you have it.
You weren't even the best in the San Fernando Valley.
I wasn't the best.
Because of that John Elway guy.
He was okay too.
Now Andrew Walter out of Grand Junction, Colorado, where he was Colorado's best. Back to throw.
Guess what?
He's going deep for the home run. This could be touchdown number 12 this year for Sean McDonald. 68 yards.
That's pretty impressive. You know what? Sean McDonald, I was watching him, Steve, down the field. He put a double move on the DB, and look how much. Oh, and Jameel Powell, he worked him over. He flat out just worked him over. He double moved him about 35 yards down the field, and Jameel Powell got his hips turned and got twisted up, and McDonald flew right by him. And then Walter throws it about 65 in the air.
Back and forth we go. Now it's the Sun Devils by 3.
One company brings new value to the way we communicate. With smartphone technology that adds color to the wireless world.
Just set the Arizona State single season receiving yardage record. And now ASU kicks off. It is LaShawn Ward, and here he goes past the 20 to the 28-yard line and knocked down there. How did McDonald get open on a very clever cornerback in Powell?
Steve, watch the double move. He'll show the post, and he'll break it up, and then he just busts back to the post. And look at the separation created there. I mean, Sean McDonald, he's not a big guy. He's 5'9", 175 pounds, but as you said, breaking the old mark of Morris Owens back in 1973. And there's some great receivers on there. John Jefferson. Oh, man. 1,185. J.D. Hill, another player. 1,185 yards this year. That's huge.
Charlie Taylor played here.
Keith Poole.
And here goes Bowler scrambling and running, and he
like that.
He chose a great route because it got him the first down. Well, the quarterback in 1973 for Morris Owens in his record-setting season was Danny White. ASU has had some quarterbacks as well, and Danny White, one of the very best, along with Mike Pagel and Jake Plummer, Mark Malone.
More of Danny White's numbers are going to fall. The single-season mark will fall soon. If Andrew Walter goes over 364 today, he passes Danny White for the single-season mark in ASU history.
And it was that same 73 season where Morris Owens was so strong. Now Egbert tries the middle, not much there. It's a tackle made by Mason Unk, who Lewis Johnson was telling us had the tape torn off his ankle and then retaped. And the Arizona State Sun Devils, like California, with a lot of injured players. And California coming off a bye week. It was after losing at Oregon State on October 26, 24-13. Second down and 6. McConan goes motion. Arizona State blitzes, and Bowler overthrows tight end Brandon Hall. Again, that NFL show comes your way. It's Michael Irvin, Tony Siragusa, and comedian Tommy Davidson. And who will they have on board this weekend? Well, Steve Harris of the Practice Smashes Wits with Tony. Reversal of fortune talk. They'll talk about teams that started slow and now are doing well, and also teams that started well and are struggling right now. That is on the NFL show on Fox Sports Net. Third down and 6. Sun Devils showing 4-man rush. Let's see if they bring a linebacker. Nope. Bowler is sacked at the 40.
Terrell Suggs.
And that is a new Pac-10 record for sacks in one season.
Boy, is he a good player, Steve. He already held the NCAA mark, the Pac-10 mark. Here comes off the corner. They rushed 4. Watch him up top. He just blows through the blocker. There to sack Bowler.
There's a flag down as Lightfoot is tackled near his 10-yard line on a great punt.
Mike McGrath, a special teamer. That's a nice tackle.
And you know, more on Terrell Suggs. You said an interesting comment. He has already broken the NCAA record, but he didn't break the Pac-10 record until today. You say, how can he do that? Well, that's because the Pac-10 recognized sacks leaders earlier than the NCAA. And Suggs now with 19.5 sacks in one season, breaking the record set by Arizona State's Al Harris.
On the defense, that penalty decline. First down.
Al Harris, Teddy Bruschi of Arizona, and USC's Tim Ryan.
Teddy Bruschi still causing a lot of problems for a lot of people. Of course, playing with the NFL Patriots. He's now a linebacker.
You know what Mike Price said about Terrell Suggs? He said if you triple team him, he's usually hit by the third guy, and the third guy is usually the quarterback.
Well, you know what Jeff Tedford said about him? He compared him to Andre Carter, former Cal Bear, 7th pick in the NFL draft in the 2001 draft. And by the way, Andre Carter is a superstar. So Terrell Suggs has a superstar on him as well.
Hakeem Hill. There's a fumble, and California gets it. Bird Watts, the free safety.
Steve, 2 minutes, 18 seconds left on the clock. You know, you're backed up on your own 10, 12, 15-yard line. Watch the ball come out. Marcus Daniels, number 50, just puts his hat on the ball. Ball's on the ground. Burt Watts has done such a great job being where he needs to be, right here. Ball pops out. Burt Watts just stays on his feet, gets knocked around. able to recover for the Cal Bears inside the 15-yard line.
Hill has had some fumble problems this year, fumbled last week, and their loss to Washington State. So now Cal will try it. Egbert, nothing. Unk was there again.
Yeah, they like a little razzle-dazzle down there, and it's really more of a tendency breaker than anything else, Steve.
Coming up on our Nissan halftime report, Chris Kellen and Artie will be talking about the upsets and college football. 2 unbeatens are left. A Pac-10 roundup. Washington State remains unbeaten in the conference. They are the leader. Congratulations to Mike Price and an outstanding win at home against the Oregon Ducks. And there's the blitz, and they get the pass off somehow to Egbert on a little shuttle as Suggs was all over Kyle Bowler with Brett Hudson.
Wow.
How fast is he?
You know what? That was an interesting play. Look how fast Terrell Suggs is. I mean, he's there on
That's
Kyle
quick
Bowler.
thinking, though, by Kyle.
Well, it was a play that was set up. Little shovel.
Yeah, but he didn't think Suggs was going to get to him that quickly.
You know, if Wilson makes the block, Egbert's in the end zone.
Well, it's 3rd and 5. Cal is 2 wide to the right side. They are 1 for 8 in 3rd down conversions in this game. Bowler fires, catch is made, touchdown Cal! Jonathan McConan!
Style points, too, on the score.
Just get in the end zone.
I give him style points, too. I like it. Sean McDonald there on the sideline for the Sun Devils, number 81. He knows he's going to be right back involved in the game. Plenty of time. Nice throw. Just drilled it. Nice acrobatic move in by McConan. Touchdown Bears.
Isn't it amazing what happens with turnovers?
Oh,
Every single turnover, 3 now in the game, have resulted in points. 2 touchdowns and a field goal. Now a touchdown for California. It was Jonathan McConan's 6th this year. 3 touchdown passes. Yeah. You know, that was the difference. Remember, he was like 50-50 interceptions to touchdown in his career coming into the season. And so Kyle now has 22 touchdowns and only 7 interceptions.
Same thing with Carson Palmer. They had almost identical stats. Carson Palmer has gone over 10,000 yards passing in the Pac-10. Only 2 other players ever did that. John Elway never did it. Steve Stenstrom from Stanford, Cade McDown from UCLA, Carson Palmer, top 3 throwers in Pac-10 history.
Bowler coming back well after that 1 interception. He was furious with himself as he tried to find his tight end. It was picked off. He's come back beautifully.
And I talked to Kyle before the game when he was warming up, Steve, and I said, hey, who do you want to say hi to? He goes, you know what? You can say hi to everybody, but my folks are here. There's about 20 of them that came over, drove over to the game down in Arizona here, and they're sitting over in the corner tonight cheering.
His dad, Bob, quite an athlete as well, a 7-foot high jumper. College days. Here goes Walter to the air again, and there's Justin Taplin for a first down catch. 53 seconds left. That doesn't mean run the clock out, not if you're ASU or Cal.
Steve, this is just a frozen rope. Watch Andrew Walter step into his throw. Look at this ball come out. Man, that's got heat on it. Jeff Tedford standing right there going, pretty good throw. Pretty good throw.
They spread him out again. 1 back, no tight end. Walter throws it away, and a flag will be thrown. You said something interesting about Andrew, and you even told him. You said he is a deliberate thrower. Could you explain that?
Yeah, well, I told him when I was talking to him yesterday. I said, you know what? You remind me of a little bit like Chris Wanke, just because you move around. You know, you're not a super fast-footed guy, right? But a nice thrower. Knows where to go with the ball. But I said, you're a deliberate thrower. And he kind of had this inquisitive look like, what do you mean deliberate thrower? I've heard this before. I'll tag it right after this.
Tight end was covered by the wide receiver. That penalty's 5 yards. Bring his spot. Repeat, first down.
Illegal receiver downfield. But, Steve, I said, you're a deliberate thrower. And he had this, kind of this look like, I said, hey, take it as a positive, because it could be a positive or a negative. The reason it's a positive is because you take your time throwing, but you're a marksman. And there are deliberate throwers who are off the mark, and you got problems. But that guy is accurate.
And he's quickly back, and he looks screened, and it is tipped and almost picked off by Wendell Hunter. But you did tell me that you think he has still a big windup, and maybe that's something that Dirk Cutter will take away.
Well, he does have a windup, but you know, some guys just have big windups. There are guys that play in college, or guys that play on Sundays that have big windups. The guys with the quick release, a guy like Jake Plummer, I mean, ball's gone. Dan Marino, ball was gone. And a guy like Elvis Gerbach now,
big windup.
You know, long windup.
Look at this. 14 rushes, 19 passes, and they're going for the 20th right here. Walter steps up. Did he hold on to that football? That is an incredible juggling catch by Darryl Lightfoot.
You know, that was a great catch. Hey, Steve, there's one other,
when the ball's in the air, juggling.
There's one other Pac-10 quarterback with a little bit of a deliberate. He's a little more deliberate in the pocket than others. A guy named Drew Bledsoe. I'd take him any day of the year.
Look at this catch. Talk about concentration.
That's a nice catch. Hey, Steve, some of the guys that have made a difference in tonight's game. Cal leading, of course, 21-17, but Arizona State's Sean McDonald has put the moves on tonight. He's been a real thorn in the Cal secondary side, but Andrew Walter delivering on time. A couple touchdowns to Sean McDonald.
It's almost like 2 years ago when he had 2 catches for 122 yards. He has 4 for 116 against California this season.
Well, look.
And the all-time Arizona State leaders, there's John Jefferson.
Aaron Cox was the name I was looking for. Keith Poole. That's just a bunch of all-stars right there. Heat Chargers under Aaron Coryell. Of course, Dan Fouts, the great quarterback out of Oregon.
3rd and 3. Walter delivers McDonald out of bounds. That's his 5th catch and his 70th this year, also an ASU record.
Steve, there's so many things you can do with a player like Sean McDonald, and Dirk Cutter knows how to utilize him. Look at him. He's reading the defense as he's running in motion. He knows he's going to get some man coverage there. He knows to take it up the field, little shake move outside. He knows the ball's going to be delivered on time. Therefore, just keep moving the chains right now. Arizona State.
24 seconds left.
Yep.
Both teams with good kickers. Walter underneath.
Oh, they kept it. They kept it.
Skylar Fulton with the catch. He did not get out of bounds.
They had to call timeout. Good use of a timeout there. I would say Arizona State has a very good kicker. Mike Barth, the senior, really having a nice year this year. And I watched him kick in pregame. He was drilling the ball.
His long this year is 50. Now they have the football right now.
To the corner, maybe something underneath it. I'd even be tempted to put 3 guys, and they are. They're going to run a trips. There's going to be 3 guys to this side here. Okay, 3 wide receivers, including the tight end. Put a little pressure to the wide side of the field.
And Walter firing. Incomplete. Intended for Matt Miller. But Donnie McCleskey with the double coverage.
I like McCleskey. I like the throw right there. This is another one of those rockets at the sideline. This is a well-thrown ball, Steve, and either your guy's catching it or nobody. McCleskey there.
If he catches
stride.
it, they've got to sprint to that line of scrimmage.
Yep. Yeah, they might not even get it off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Snap that ball down because just 11 seconds remain in the first half with Cal leading ASU by 4. Walter has time, goes out of bounds at the 34-yard line. So here comes Barth. This will be his longest attempt. Now let's see, almost the 35-yard line. This should be a 51-yard field goal attempt.
I was going to say 52.
Okay, let's see.
Yeah.
52?
Yeah.
Either way, it's the longest.
About 7 yards. About 7 yards and 1 foot, Steve, is the usual mark for a field goal kicker behind the ball.
His longest is 50. Lewis Johnson just told us that the wind is swirling on the field. He hammers it, but it will be short. Well short. And with 1 second left, Cal, who knows? You know, with Jeff Tedford, he may go deep right here. I have a feeling he's going to take this lead in the locker room.
You bet I'm just going to call him, well, he has two nicknames, Grumpy and Sleepy. I never know which one to use.
I call him the best. And we have had a wonderful first half. It is Jeff Tedford and Cal with a 4-point lead, 21-17. Let's go to our College Football Saturday studio with Chris Rose. Andrew Walter, we were not disappointed as Bowler threw for 3 touchdown passes. Andrew Walter threw for 2 touchdown passes. But Arizona State, when they won the toss to start the game, they deferred to the second half. One reason why, Rams, Dirk Cutter's football team has been excellent scoring in the second half this year.
And they have been slow out of the gate, although they were able to put up 17 in the first half. It'll be interesting to see what they do this half, Steve.
This is Lightfoot 2 yards deep. Carroll slugged down to 13. That's great coverage by California. Let's go down the sideline and Lewis Johnson.
Well, Steve, I said to Jeff Tedford a few moments ago, okay, Terrell Suggs has 1 sack in the first half. Is that a victory? He said yes, for now. But he went on to tell me and assure me that he'll make some defensive changes to give his safeties help over the top to try and stop Sean McDonald, who has burned them for 5 catches, 124 yards, and 2 touchdowns. No more one-on-one coverage there. As for Dirk Cutter, I said his aggravation, a fair word to describe the first half. He said yes for their offense. Out of sync, out of rhythm. If they don't improve, he believes they'll get beat. Steve?
Thank you, Lewis, and here we go to start the third quarter. Andrew Walter, who threw for 2 touchdown passes in the first half. Both Deshaun McDonald goes right back to Sean, and that is his 6th catch in the ballgame. He has over 130 yards receiving. But this is what we were talking about. California has scored 108 points, more than their opponents in the first half, and Arizona State in the second half has scored 70 more than their opponents.
That's pretty amazing. That big numbers now.
How about this? 123 over 62 in the third quarter alone, and we start the third quarter and they have the football first. Mike Williams is the running back in for the injured Cornell candidate who has an ankle injury. How does this guy get open? I mean, this time it's Darrell Lightfoot, and Walter mad at himself because he had Lightfoot with about 10 yards of separation from his defensive back. Our FedEx first half stats for Andrew Walter: 10 times he's gone to wide receivers for 173. Not much to the tight ends or backs, but when you have Mr. Lightfoot and Mr. McDonald, why not go wide?
Well, yeah, and Sean McDonald, Steve, 5-13 completions there. For Andrew Walter, 5 of those scores going to Sean McDonald, 124 yards, 2 scores.
They run the screen again. Mike Williams, and Williams only gains a couple.
Cal's playing very well defensively. Bob Gregory has them playing well. They've been able to read. You know, and I think one of the biggest reasons they're playing well, they had a bye week last week, so they come in fresh. More importantly, they come in fresh. They were able to see their own guys play Kyle Bowler against the #1 defense, and they knew what to expect from Andrew Walter because they go against this guy in practice every day. Daniel Wang-Wu playing the nose tackle. Cal right now only rushing 3 guys, Steve.
Walter looked right, throws left, incomplete, intended for Skylar Fulton.
ASU was only 3 of 10 on 3rd down in the first half. Now they're 3 of 11, and you know what? They just know. You see Dirk Cutter. Hey, come on over. Let's talk about it. Andrew Walter, and if you see someone separate, get off him. Come back. Get the ball to him. And he missed that 1 throw earlier on 1st down.
Now Tim Parker almost gets it blocked. Jameel Powell is driven back. There's 18 and fumbles, but covers it himself. That's the 2nd time that California has fumbled a punt in the football game. The first cost him 7 points. This time Powell says, my bad, after a great 53-yard punt by Tim Parker. Now Kyle Bowler, and what did he do in the first half? Threw for 131 yards and 3 scores.
Kind of like Bowler, 11-22, 131. Not a lot of yards. So you know what? This is when he starts to heat up, though. I mean, he's seen the different looks, and he's protected the ball pretty well. He got fooled on the one interception. He was trying to get the ball to Swoboda.
Let's see how Arizona State has adjusted to their offense at halftime. Bowler rolling out, has nobody to throw it to, so fires it over the head of Jonathan McConan. No. Throw it away and live to fight another day. And how about that? Suggs and Bowler smiling at each other coming back.
Kyle Bowler, you got to like what he did right here. Swoboda, touchdown. That was off a turnover. This one, one-play drive. LaShawn Ward, huge touchdown. A great throw there. And then he gets the ball to McConan out in the flat. McConan diving in for the score. Gave the Bears 21 points in that first half. Look at the improvement, Steve, from the freshman year to the senior year. That's growing as a quarterback, both on and off the field.
Here goes Egbert breaking outside. First down for Joe across the 30-yard line to the 32. 17 yards on the run. There is a flag down.
Neither team was effective running the ball in the first half. Face mask on top of the play. ASU had -8,
5-yard
of
face
course.
mask on the defense. Penalties 5 yards to the end of the run. First down.
Joe Egbert had 36 yards rushing in the first half, 17 on this drive, and then Solomon Bates gets him by the face mask as he's taking him down and roped him down.
And he'll get a few more on the penalty up to the 37-yard line. There is Egbert, now over 700 yards rushing this year. Senior from Honolulu, Hawaii. Here comes Suggs. Now Bowler steps up and runs. He gets to the 38-yard line, maybe a gain of 2, and then Ricardo Stewart looks like he's holding that left side, maybe a little stinger on that left shoulder. See the wrap around his left bicep.
Hey Steve, watch this. Suggs is right here. He's got a speed rush, and he makes Bowler come out of the pocket because they got 2 guys up on him up top, and he still flushes Kyle Bowler out. But Bowler, really smart there, getting the ball back up the field. Take a positive. You don't want to take a sack. Don't take any kind of negative. Right now, every drive is crucial in the second half.
And will they throw the football or give it to Egbert? It's play action, and they blitz Williams, and Bowler has to throw it away. Alfred Williams, who grew up in this organization as a safety, moved to that 5-safety spot that's really a linebacker position and came on the blitz.
You know what? Alfred Williams grew up when he was about 3 years old because his father is a chief warrant officer with the U.S. Marine Corps. His mom, of course his father, Alfred Sr., his mom, Teresa, she's an officer with the IRS. Now you tell me if you don't mature fast in that household, something's wrong.
Got to be accountable.
Third down.
And they decline the penalty, so it's 3rd down and 8.
Watch 39, Alfred Williams. He's one of the best. But you know what? He is a very fine young man. I'm telling you, ASU, proud of him. He's proud of ASU, and he, of course, playing his last home game here. As a Sunday.
200 career tackles in his 4th year as a starter. Now 3rd and 8. The crowd picks up. Williams blitzes again. The throw to Brandon Hall. He breaks free, and Brandon Hall gets the first down.
Great effort. Great second effort that time by Brandon Hall. And that's what made it, Steve. They were able to pick up the blitz. They just shortened the route here. Brandon Hall knows they're getting blitzed. Kyle Bowler gets the ball out. Most importantly, just get the ball off. Mason Unk not able to make the tackle. Brandon Hall's a big kid, too. 6'4", 250.
He came in with only 3 catches. He's got 3 catches in this game now.
Yep. Another JC guy. Good addition into that Bear program. Jeff Tedford on the mark again.
From the 48-yard line. Egbert. Only 3. Solomon Bates on the tackle. Our FedEx Joe Igber first half stats. They tried the middle most of the time. 6 carries for 19 yards. And 8 yards to the right, 8 yards to the left.
8 to the left, 8 to the right. Stand up, sit down, 5-5-5. Right? I knew that was coming out of your mouth next.
Not me, pal.
Okay, buddy.
They need 7 for the first down. Bowler running away from Solomon Bates. Blitz has to throw it away. Jonathan McCona was trying to get open with separation from Brett Hudson, but could not.
Okay, so you say, golly, why is he throwing the ball away? He had an open man. No, he didn't have an open man. And you know what? By throwing the ball away, you saved it down. Now you got a good chance. 3rd and 7, right around the plus 45. That, to me, Steve, is the mark of a veteran quarterback. When you realize you don't have the play, don't force it. 3 of 10 on 3rd down today. They're a little off their mark. They're usually around 40%.
3rd and 7. Igber split out right. Bowler going deep. Has his man for the first down. Then the juggle. It is an incomplete pass, and that's the 3rd time the sure-handed McConan has dropped a ball in this game.
What a throw. Once again, that's a lively throw. It's a bit of a, I don't want to say risky throw, but he threaded the needle, and he put it right on the 5 on McConan's chest, and McConan just unable to come down with it.
Now Tyler Frederickson on, trying to pin Arizona State deep within their 20-yard line. Shanks it off the left side. It will hit the 25 and bounce the wrong way, so a poor punt by Tyler Frederickson. Only 16 yards, and ASU will try their 2nd offensive possession in the 3rd quarter. Stadium in Tempe, Arizona. Arizona State down by 4, 21-17, but they have the football back on their own 29-yard line. Andrew Walter hands off to Mike Williams, and a loss in the play of 2 yards. Matt Nixon on the tackle, the outside linebacker.
Matt Nixon's been playing pretty well tonight, Steve. He and Marcus Daniels, 2 inside linebackers there, doing a nice job. Wendell Hunter in right now. Obvious passing situation. He comes in, number 40.
2nd down, 11 yards to go. Skylar Fulton at the bottom of your screen. Walter continues to roll, tries to thread it to Mike Williams for the screen, and Walter again overshot his target, and he has been overfiring his receivers here to start the 3rd quarter.
Well, they tried to get the screen off, and you know what? It was just read well by the Cal defense. Again, I just think that Bob Gregory, the defensive coordinator of Cal, I think this is a great football game. That's what I really think, because both sides have done well. The strategic game that both sides have played has been pretty well played. 3rd and 11, and 3 of 11 today for the Sun Devils.
And here comes the blitz, and nobody to pick it up. And now Walter rolling, now flipping it to his back, Mike Williams, and Williams trying to break free, but will wind up about 4 shy of the first down. You know, they picked up the blitz.
Yeah, he had a lot of time to throw, but you know what? I thought Cal and the defensive backs down the field, I thought they did a nice job. They covered people up that time. And Andrew Walter had nowhere to go other than the outlet, which was Mike Williams. He came off late to Mike Williams, and Jameel Powell had McDonald pretty well covered. And Mike Williams took a couple shots going down.
And there's a block punt by California. It is picked up and running for the touchdown. Whale Forrester.
I'm not sure who blocked it, Steve.
It looked like Michael Porter blocked it.
You know, they've been close about 3 times tonight on Tim Parker. They have been close. Watch this. Parker trying to get it off, and they knew they were close. Oh, they just crushed it. It looked like, I think, you know who got it? Asamuga.
Yeah, Nnamdi Asomugha.
Nnamdi Asomugha, who's played so well for the Bears. Senior, converted safety, now playing corner, special teams stalwart.
Well, the point after touchdown is good, and California has their biggest lead of the night, 28-17 over number 25, ASU.
With a touchdown. There's a look at Ryan Gutierrez. Great play on special teams.
They have two number 23s. One is Michael Porter, the other is Ricky Gutierrez. And now, getting knocked down is Darryl Lightfoot. I'll tell you what, Cal special teams have really played well in this game against a team that's usually strong in special teams.
Hey, Steve, you can tell when a player doesn't score a whole lot. Watch how he celebrates. Oops. What's going on over there anyhow? I mean, get out from behind the bench and get out over the sideline where the cameras can see you, would you? Our cameras catch everything.
Finding Forrester, and they found him. How about that?
He looked like special agent over there, didn't he?
Well, this is Arizona State's comeback story this year. They trailed in the second half in 4 of their 7 wins this season. They came from 21-0 down at Oregon to beat the Ducks. They came from 22-0 down to beat San Diego State. Now Walter to the air, scrambles away from pressure, and now he will run for about a 3-yard gain. No holding, and I thought a couple of their offensive linemen held some Cal Bears.
And you know what? I stand corrected, because I said Andrew Walter wasn't that fast. You know what? He's pretty nifty. It's just that he hasn't had to run a whole lot. He's a pocket passer. He's a pure throwing kind of guy. He's like a Bledsoe. And when you're that big and strong and you can spread the field with your arm, that's when you become very dangerous. And that's why Arizona State has been so effective with him at quarterback.
Well, they'll have McDonald and Fulton wide right and Lightfoot to the left. And they go underneath to Mike Pinkert. He's been a rare target in this game, but has the first down up near the 38-yard line.
Well, Steve, Mike Pinkert, he came in this year with 15 career catches, 1 touchdown. He came into tonight's game, he had 19 catches, over 330 yards and 5 touchdowns. And right there, Walter just doing a great job finding Pinkert. No one around big Mike Pinkert. Easy guy to get the ball to.
And there are 11 NFL scouts at this football game tonight, and they are taking a look at Mike Pinkert, who continues to shoot up the charts and tight ends around college football. Here is Walter. He freezes the lineman. He's going deep for Sean McDonald again, and he is bugged from the side by Nnamdi Asomugha.
You know what? That's a great play. All the way around. It's a great throw. It's a great route, number 1. Watch, little double move again. Off the ball. Shake, shake, shake. Bang. Takes off. Watch Asomugha's timing. Oh, that's good. The throw was right on the mark, too. Asomugha comes across. You said it, Steve. Kind of ear-holding him. Didn't know he was coming. Got him.
Now they really spread him out. No tight ends. 1 single back. Walter looks right. Goes over the middle. Skylar Fulton. Cut down from behind at the 15-yard line. First down, Arizona State. 46 yards on the play.
You know what? That's good football. And when I say that, you know what? You're quick releasing people, so you're not max protected. You're getting people into the pass route. Okay, 4 and 5 receivers into the route. Well, what does that do? That puts pressure on a defense to cover all those people. And Andrew Walter got protection, found the open man.
Fulton out. Derek Hagan in, and Walter looking left side. Now he'll come back right, and it is incomplete. He looked for Hakeem Hill, is back. Josh Beckham lost his helmet on the play. Rams, about Andrew Walter, we were discussing his growth in the organization. And Dirk Cutter told us, yes, he did have a meeting with his mom and dad and Andrew during the summer. And he said, young man, this is what you have to do. He was very honest with him. And he said, you have to improve your work habits, your technique, and your progression of reads. And we've seen dramatic improvement in all areas, but the progression of reads in this drive have been good.
Well, Steve, and this system is not an easy system. You've got to go through your progressions, and you got to know what you're throwing into.
The screen set up well, And McDonald is, Hakeem Hill is out of bounds near the 10-yard line. If he doesn't juggle it, I think he scores a touchdown because he had the blockers in front of him. And
I like Hakeem Hill. He's a redshirt freshman. He's 5th in the Pac-10 in all-purpose yards. Matt Nixon was the one that made Walter throw a little early. The ball was a little bit behind Hakeem Hill. That's the reason Hakeem Hill didn't take it in stride. But Hakeem Hill comes out of Iowa. He was a state champ, 10-400-meter guy.
His father, J.D. Hill, is a great player at Arizona State and with the Buffalo Bills.
They might have taken it away.
They did. That clock was at 25, but right back to 0. And Regis Crawford talked to Andrew Walter. Will quickly go to the sideline and talk with his head coach, Dirk Cutter. But you know, with Dirk and Andrew's relationship, yeah, he thought for a second about transferring, but he said, you know what, my mom and dad went here. I wanted to be a Sun Devil. I wanted to.
Yeah.
And Dirk said, you know what, all the credit goes to him.
Now, look at this. He only needs 350. Well, he needs, what, 364. What does he need? 364 to overtake Danny White, right?
Yes, Danny White.
Yeah. He's got a bunch.
3rd and 12. Downfield. Touchdown, Skylar Bolton.
What a throw. What a catch.
What a game.
What a game. That's right. You know what? If he throws it, if he leads Skylar Bolton, it's a headache ball, Steve, okay? He throws it a little behind him, knowing there's a safety over the top here. Watch it thread the needle. Andrew Walter takes a little off it. Knowing that the safety, Burt Watts, was coming over the top. Look at that. That's confidence there, bud.
This league has some quarterbacks. Andrew Walter with his 3rd touchdown of the night. ASU within 4 of California.
I might have gone for 2 there if I was Arizona State.
Pulling them within 4 of the California Golden Bears. And Skylar Fulton brought it down for his 3rd touchdown pass of the year.
Watch Andrew Walter, Steve. He takes a little off it, pulls the string right here. And that is great timing.
I like the way Fulton slid under the demolition.
Watch it. Look at that. Nissan scoring drive. Arizona State, 7 plays, 80 yards, only 1:30 off the clock. Walter on the drive, 4 of 6 for 80 yards.
He now has 295 yards and 3 touchdowns in this game.
You know that guy doing push-ups a minute ago? That guy looked like Holmes/Nettles.
Brian Nettles, our stage manager. He spikes up his hair the same way as he gives us the directions in the booth. And now the kickoff by Greg Perrott.
Now, should they have gone for 2, Steve? Made it a 3-point game? Just a thought. Just a thought.
Lots of game left, though. We're still in the 3rd quarter with 8:25 left, and College Football Saturday presented by Kyocera returns to Fox Sports Net next Saturday with a Big 12 showdown. It could be Iowa State or 18th ranked Colorado or Nebraska battling number 12 Kansas State. 4th ranked Texas squares off against Texas Tech. Coverage begins next Saturday with College Football Saturday kickoff show at 11:30 Eastern, 8:30 Pacific here on Fox Sports Net.
Colorado won in overtime today. They beat Missouri in OT.
Wow. Oklahoma lost at Texas A&M. So 3 unbeatens left in the top 20, 2 in the top 10. And here goes Boulder stepping up. The ball is ripped, and it's covered by ASU.
Brian Montesanto, Steve. Montesanto, the defensive tackle, was the one that came flying by Kyle Boulder. He's getting mugged by Terrell Suggs right now, but Montesanto lines up in the interior. There's 97. He just keeps coming. Keeps coming, watch him coming to your screen. Slaps the ball away from Kyle Bowler. Wow. Recovered by Verdon, the defensive end. Yep. Jimmy Verdon, 6'4", 265-pound end. He's the one that recovered the ball right there. Montesanto's the one that slapped it right out of Bowler's hand.
Turnover for both teams.
Yep.
3 by California. And the other 3 turnovers led to points. 2 touchdowns and a field goal. Now Walter back to work, but a flag goes down with ASU down by just 4 points, 28-24 with 8 minutes and 15 seconds.
Dead ball foul. Ball start. Offense, 5 yards, remains first down.
Well, you see how, you know, again, momentum is on your side. Fast-paced game, last 51 games, 29-1 with plus or even in turnovers. And you see it, 3-18 when they're minus.
And they are 3-1 in this game. Walter the screen, set it nicely. This is Mike Pickard, and Pickard to the goal line. There is a flag down.
And that's not in a good spot, Steve, because usually that's an alignment penalty. They might have had maybe not enough guys on the line, or maybe 2 men. I believe that's what it appears to be. What's the problem?
That's Dirk Cutter saying we weren't doubled up there. They had a 1st and goal at the 1-inch line. Instead, it's coming back.
Illegal touching by the offense. The player that caught the ball was covered by the wide receiver, therefore ineligible. Penalty's 5 yards, previous spot. Repeat first down.
So it's an alignment penalty where the receiver, they said he was covered up. So essentially the flanker was standing on the line of scrimmage, therefore covering up the tight end, Pinkard, and made him an ineligible receiver.
Well, now the ball back at the 20-yard line. They have lost 10. It is still a 1st and goal, but now at the 20. Walter to the air again, looking. Downfield it goes. Justin Tackling to the 10. So they get 10 back, and the tackle is made by Tom Canada, number 44, with Matt Nixon.
Steve, just a moment ago, see Pinkard. Well, you know what? I'm not sure. I believe Pinkard was there, but you know what?
You think Dirk Cutter's got an argument?
Sure he does. Absolutely. Yeah, it looked like a legal formation to me. So anyhow, on we go. Dirk Cutter, he'll send that one into the Pac-10 office and ask Earl Sorgan, our ace head of referees, hey, what's going on there?
Blitz on. Walter unloads it. Intercepted. Asamoah. And he will go the distance. What a turnaround.
The old 14-point swing, huh, Steve?
Unbelievable. A fumble by Bowler. Dirk Cutter's Sun Devils have a 1st and goal. Instead,
well,
pick on a bad pass.
You know what I like? Dirk Cutter went over to him and said, hey, you know what? That's okay. You got to bring it back. Now, those looping balls out to the backs. Look at Asamoah. That is just a great play. Chaz White's not gonna catch it. Pick number 73. Nope. So 85 yards. Asamoah there to the 14-point swing, assuming they could get in the end zone, of course.
He's been a big game guy in his past.
Yeah,
he let Cal win over UCLA a couple of years ago. He had a fumble recovery, 31-yard interception return for a touchdown that led the Bears to a victory. Wow.
6th career
what
pick.
A swing. It's almost like getting punched in the gut. Dirk Cutter's trying to get some air.
The guy over there congratulated him, J.D. Williams, a great defensive secondary coach who himself was a Buffalo Bill and a 1st-round pick out of Fresno State. And right there, Steve, timing on the play, made it. Asabu went after it. He was aggressive.
Should he have thrown it away with two guys in the area and gone for the 3 points?
Of course I could say that, but he didn't see Asabu break on the ball. Asabu, watch this. He gets pressure, okay? Pressure, and then you just looped it. He'll know never to loop that ball out in the flat again because you got to stick it right on the guy. You got to put it right on the guy's numbers. Asabu, though, I loved it. He made an aggressive play. He went after it. He went back to what you said. Bob Gregory said to his guys, play aggressive. Don't be afraid to make plays like that. And that's exactly what they did. And what happens? 85-yard touchdown the other way.
And that's why there was a 32 turnover swing from last year to this year. Last year they were minus 17 as a team in turnovers, and consequently they were 1-10. This year they're plus 15 coming into tonight's game, and they have 5 wins.
Well, Arizona State hasn't been able to get a return tonight, Steve, so far. I expect them, one of these days, they're going to get a return, and then Walter's going to come right back and find McDonald.
They have a block punt for a touchdown, and an interception now for a touchdown. Turnovers for a Kyocera game break. Let's go to our College Football Saturday studio with Chris Rose.
All right, Steve, fight for the little brown jug up in Minnesota. Chris Perry, the Wolverines. Look at the gymnastics move. The high hurdle, the free pirouette. The Russian judge gave him a 4.6, by the way. Tom, you know, Michigan getting all revved up. Maybe they will ruin OSU's unbeaten season.
Well, they need that game. Michigan needs to win that game against Ohio State to give Washington State a chance to get back into that national championship picture. Now, Miami, last time we checked, was beating Tennessee pretty soundly.
I think Washington State is in a great position. They're knocking on the door. They are knocking on the BCS door. They're more than likely, with their win today over the Oregon Ducks, more than likely, they're situated in a darn good spot. Now, if Arizona State comes back and wins this game tonight, they play USC next week. The winner of that game is going to have a shot. I mean, you know, it's going to be a 1 loss, and what you have to do if you're one of those teams with 1 loss is hope. Hope like heck. What was that? Was that Terry that went flying by? Oh, goodness. Anyhow, those guys scare me.
Washington State's going to have, if they get 2 more wins, those are impressive wins.
Yeah.
They have to beat Washington, and they have to win at UCLA.
Yep, on December 7th. That's a big date.
Big arm by Andrew Walter. Darrell Lightfoot with the catch. He breaks free and will score. 85 yards.
Now you know why Dirk Cutter doesn't get upset at Andrew Walter for making a bad throw, because his very next throw, you can make it, you know, an 80-plus yard. How long was that, Jeff? 85. So you go 85 one way with a bad throw, you come back and go 85 a good way to Darrell Lightfoot, who himself is a big play. Look at this, avoids the rush, steps up, and just unloads again. This is remarkable, Steve, the accuracy on long balls.
Unbelievable.
It's remarkable.
I thought it was interesting. Jeff Tedford said he's not afraid to go deep. Why would a coach say that about a quarterback? Quarterback, you'd think no quarterback's afraid to go deep.
Well, but some guys just don't get the ball out. And when I say get the ball out, they just don't get the ball out.
They're going for 2
Like
this
they
time.
said. Yeah, you bet they're going for 2 because they wanted to knock it down to a 3-point game, because you never know. Get as many points as you can. Right now, you can use the additional points. And they forced Cal into a timeout.
And you know,
check that. Arizona State called timeout. Oh. Hey, how cool is this, though? Look at this. We hooked him up on a little, he had a little stutter move. He went to go break down. Who bit the bait? Who bit the bait? I'm not sure who the DB was. Wow, you know what? It's a heck of a throw. It looked.
And Andrew Walter just broke the Arizona State single-season passing record, flying by the great Danny White, 2,912 yards. You know what else? He is 3 yards shy. Andrew Walter is 3 yards shy of his 4th 400-yard passing game this year, and he didn't start until the 5th game.
That's amazing.
Are you kidding me?
Danny White,
a Dallas Cowboy, and great Arena Football League coach. The Rattlers in Phoenix.
Walter is one of 5 boys of Randy and Selena. ASU grads themselves. Of course, his father played basketball here at ASU, but
baseball.
I thought it was basketball.
Okay.
I had basketball written down. So maybe he was a 2-sport guy. Hey, he's pretty tall, so he's a pilot today. That's what I know. And, you know, Steve, I tell you what, though, when you grow up with all those boys, you think it's pretty competitive nature. I said, Andrew, were you the oldest or the youngest? He goes, actually, I'm the second oldest. I said, oh, so you're on the beaten up end as opposed to the little, you know, the oldest. That's right. So,
going for the 2. Walter reading the defense, spreads out his wide receivers. Oh, he had his man. It was incomplete. Cal takes a 5-point lead.
Why do I rent for Enterprise? For more cargo room, more people room, or more headroom. Enterprise. So easy, it's like having a second car. Or third.
Pick Enterprise. We'll pick you up.
Ryan Newman was born to make NASCAR more exciting. The Daytona 500 returns this February only on Fox.
Why do I rent for Enterprise? For more cargo room, more people room, or more headroom. Enterprise. So easy, it's like having a second car. Or third.
Pick Enterprise. We'll pick you up.
A wild game here in the desert. It's California by 5, 35-30. 27 points have been scored by these two teams in the third quarter. And we haven't even played 9 minutes.
Oh, it's, well, we just saw a moment ago, Andrew Walter made one bad throw, but he came back, made up for it, and then some.
He now has 397 yards passing and 4 touchdowns. Great quarterbacks, great receivers in this league. And how about our Pac-10 player of the week? Washington State's wide receiver Jerome Riley last week, 8 catches, 131 yards, and 2 scores in their win over ASU. And that was the victory that really dashed most of the hopes by the Sun Devils to go from one of the worst teams in the Pac-10 Conference to one of the very best and make it to the Rose Bowl. They lost 44-24 last week in Pullman. Arizona State now 387 yards total offense, but they cannot run the football from all through the air. And now Cal trying to get things going with a 5-point lead. They have 21 and a half minutes left.
You know, right now, the Arizona State defense team, Brent Guy, his defense. Now remember, Brent Guy played defense at Oklahoma State under Jimmy Johnson. Jimmy Johnson, that went on to coach the Dallas Cowboys. Work at Fox, of course, but Brent Guy's playing that same strong defense. 4-man front, 4-3 principles. If you get a strong 4-man rush, you can play all kinds of things behind it. You can zone blitz, you can play zone, and you can come off the corner, and that's what they've been doing tonight against Cal.
They run the safety blitz, but they run to the right side. This ball, get your NFL fix a day earlier with the most outrageous, unpredictable NFL pregame show. The NFL show with Michael Irvin, Tony Siragusa, and comedian Tommy Davidson. They will be talking with Robert Griffin of the Cleveland Browns in the studio. And Amon Green, they'll do a feature on the terrific Green Bay Packer running back. Here we go, 3rd and 7, Kyle Bowler. They rush 4. And it's Suggs getting a left hand on it. Incomplete hunting situation for the Bears.
Well, T-Sizzle, Terrell Suggs, is able to make 2 plays at once. Steve, he rushes a passer, forces Bowler into a throw, and then he's able to tip the ball, become a defender, pass defender. Watch. Puts on the brakes, jumps back up. And so, okay, that's the case of a flat ball thrown to a running back. It gets tipped, right? We saw Walter try and loop the ball. That got picked off, so it's somewhere in between.
Now the punt. Lightfoot the 36, Lightfoot to the 43. And now you have to take a look at that very potent Arizona State offense with their big plays.
Well, you got great field position now for Arizona State. They were behind the 8 ball in the first half. They didn't have a lot of good field position. Cal was the team with a lot of good field position. You see Cutter right there in the huddle, telling them get motivated, get fired up. And Andrew Walter coming out and leading the Sun Devils.
Mike Williams, the running back. This is a quick strike offense. Now showing blitz right side, and now Wendell Hunter drops off. Now he comes. They're going deep again. Incomplete. This time it was intended for Mike Talbot, the fullback. Bert's watch was covering, and they thought he was interfered with, but actually he was clipped with the pass way over his head. Clipped late when the ball was over.
Well, they had a shot. They had a shot. They caught him.
It went until here.
Yep.
The ball was already on the ground. No foul. But you know, they have such a quick strike offense coming into the game. Of their 54 scoring drives, only 11 for ASU were over 4 minutes. It's like boom, McDonald gone. Boom, Lightfoot, see ya. Now they run the screen to Hakeem Hill, and the Hill will get the first down and more inside Cal territory.
Our offense, we knew it was going to happen tonight, and I'm telling you, this is good football. Up and down the field. Hakeem Hill, they set it up. Watch, he's going to just slide out, take it, run up the field. He gets some blocks out front, but you know, Steve, watch Andrew Walter kind of sets his feet right here, brings him in, and then they're able to get some blocks down the field. 1, 2. And Hakeem Hill showing great speed that time once he caught the ball.
Walter now over 400 yards passing, 410. This is his 4th 400-yard passing game this season. No ASU quarterback had ever done it.
McDonald and Lightfoot up top.
And Walter looking, scrambling, going deep again. Sideline McDonald, but he was well covered, so he threw it away. See, that's the Francis Marion thing. Remember the Swamp Fox from the American Revolution? He was the guy who said, "He who fights and runs away lives to fight another day." Throws it away, he's got another chance.
See, you know,
that's a history lesson.
I was going to say you were a poet.
I don't like this call.
No, I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why they call intentional grounding here. He was not theoretically outside the tackle box.
He threw it towards Sean McDonald.
No, I know, but you have, in order to throw the ball up into the stands, as this ball went, you got to theoretically, by the rule book, be out of the tackle box.
Intentional grounding.
I don't like the call.
On the offense, walks it down, spot of the foul, keep it down.
No, they'll change this rule before next year, I promise you.
Sean McDonald's in the area.
Hey, Dave Katai is just following the rule book. I mean, the referee. Watch, now here's the tackle box, okay? Wow, that was kind of a cool thing that I drew. Not sure how that happened, but anyhow. He threw it up in the garbage can. Okay, that's okay, though. Got a little bit of the security guard as well.
You know, it got away from him. It's like a pitcher who hits a batter. He wasn't trying to. The ball just got away from him.
Eckstein's just leaving it again.
Walter in trouble, scrambles away from pressure. The catch is made for the first down by Darrell Lightfoot. Take that.
I'll tell you what, you know what happens? You know, you mentioned 11 NFL scouts were here tonight looking at assorted players.
The most ever given out by Sports Information Director Mark Brand.
And what happens is they go, yeah, who's this number 16 guy? You know, he's a redshirt sophomore. I mean, this guy is making play after play after play, over 400 yards for the 4th time this year. I mean, he's had a 500-yard game. The offense, they've only 20 rushes for a whopping -5, but look at the passing. That's what it's all about here.
I thought you had to run to set up the pass. Blitzon, Walter goes down. Donnie McCluskey on the safety blitz, but there is a flag down.
Pass to set up the run, Steve.
Yes, sir.
Why not?
But they can't run.
Yeah. You got to run and draw once in a while.
It's against California.
Okay, if you're Cal.
Offside, defense. 5 yards, previous spot. Repeat first down.
This is the second penalty.
Let's see if we can see right here. I believe that's our man. Oh, yeah, little quick jump there. Yes, sir. And we have, that's Calvin Hosey. Number 13, haven't called his name a whole lot, but he's been playing awfully well for the Cal Bears as well, all year long.
Arizona State down by 5 against California, but they've been down in the second half to 4 teams and 1 games this year. Walter, this time, now rips it to the right over the head of Skylar Fulton. That would give me a flag down. He wasn't outside the box.
Well, that's hard to say, Steve. Watch Sean McDonald in the slot. See what he does here. Comes off. No one touches him. Is he open? Is he open? Yeah, Burt Watts is over the top. Now, the read will take in outside, which it did for Walter. I think like a good veteran quarterback. The guy's not open. Spin it out of bounds.
Walter led that great comeback against the Oregon Ducks in Autzen Stadium earlier this year. McDonald goes to the right.
Move up here.
Walter will run it. Hakeem Hill. First down inside the 10-yard line.
You know, when you spread them out, let's see, and this is what Washington State did. Watch, they're just going to take a little lead, just a little zone block right up front. They go mano a mano, big on big. They get some blocks, a little tackle trap comes around. All of a sudden, next thing you know, Hakeem Hill springing up the middle. Burt Watts, the free safety, has to make the final tackle.
So now the run sets up the pass. Ball on the 6-yard line. And they're going to run it again. Hill inside the 4 to the 3. They have now a total of 12 yards rushing in this game. Just what Dirk Cutter wanted. What about an 0.2 average?
Well,
not at all. Dirk knows their starting running back, Cornell Kennedy, is injured. He left in the first half. Hakeem Hill, who's also a redshirt freshman learning. They're finally out of the negative for rush yards. Now 13 yards total for today. Tedford's defense has done a heck of a job at that. His defense faces a 2nd and goal. And they'll run Hakeem Hill. Sprinting to the end zone. Touchdown!
10-4, 100-meter guy. If you catch him, you got someone really fast on defense. And right there, he was just able to outrun everyone to the corner. Hakeem Hill. Steve doing a great job catching the corner. Look at the blocks out front, though. Nice job by the fullback. Very nice.
Hakeem Hill's 5th touchdown of the game.
And it's the 5th lead change in this game.
36-35, going for 2. Hill will now come out. Tells me they will go to the air. Now, Cutter's a little disappointed. They burn a timeout.
Wow, that's their second. That's their second
One
this
left
half.
with 17.5 minutes left in this ball game. As you told me, look at that. Clock management. That is the Tom Ramsey theme, and Dirk Cutter is a believer.
Yeah, well, you got guys coming off the field. You know, Dirk Cutter, let me bring a little levity here. Dirk Cutter, looking sharp, got his haircut yesterday. I went to his barber yesterday. I got my haircut too, and you know, it's interesting. His barber, Brad Holtquist, his father, Gordon Holtquist, retiring. Kearney, Nebraska, Steve. He was the worked for Chief
football games in Kearney.
Chief Industries, and just wanted to go ahead and pass on a happy retirement to Gordon.
Like you're talking about 10-4 speed.
Yeah.
Here we go.
10-4 speed to the corner, my friend. You know what? You know what I was afraid of when they right before they got that playoff. You know, they were rushing against the 25-second clock. They barely got the ball snapped. Barely. And I'll tell you, it's a tough crowd up here.
ASU has a 1-point lead, going for 2. Well, they burnt the timeouts. Dirk Cutter saying, let's at least get the 2 points. Let's take the 3-point lead. Walter. Incomplete, but they're shipping flag down, yes.
The flag.
Bethea went right through his man with the ball in the air, pass interference.
Yep.
And Sean McDonald, yeah, you might as well put about 4 guys on 81.
Half the distance. Jeff Tedford not happy.
Pass interference defense. Phillies half the distance to the goal. Repeat the try.
Although, you know what? That's a good penalty by Bethea. Really is. I mean, if you're somewhat beat, take the penalty. Make them line up and snap it again. Although they're half the distance now, so they're on the 1.5-yard line. And now the possibility of a run becomes that much greater.
And they have averaged less per rush than what they need. They've averaged less than a yard per carry.
You're right.
So this is not a sure thing.
No. Never is.
They have Mike Williams, the junior. And they'll throw. And Walter over the middle. And they get the 2 points to Skylar Fulton. And the Sun Devils have the 3-point edge. What a great game again for Andrew Walter.
Andrew Walter, Steve, his poise under pressure, okay? His calmness, patience, the ability to get to the open man. Skylar Fulton there with the 2-point conversion. Guys in the Pac-10 or not? What's up with that? But if you look at the run stats, they've actually been pretty tough against the run, both teams.
I get that criticism all the time from that world champion center fielder of the Anaheim Angels, Darren Erstad, who played for the national champion Nebraska Cornhuskers. Don't they ever play defense in that league? I gave him a Pac-10 shirt. I said, Darren, hey, remember, wear this when you want to see good football. For a Kyocera game break, let's go to our College Football Saturday studio with Chris Rose.
All right, Steve, just down the road from you in Tucson, the true freshman Tyler Ebel continues to impress for UCLA. A couple of cutbacks. They would add a field goal for a 10-0 lead over the Cats. And USC all over Stanford. Carson Palmer, 4 more TD tosses, 13 in his last 3 games. Impressive.
USC playing really strong football here in October and November. Now Bowler in California down by 3. Egbert trying to escape outside. Here comes Bowler to give him a block. And there goes Egbert inside the 45-yard line. Did you see Kyle Bowler come flashing through and lay a lick on a defender? 37 yards, bringing Egbert.
The more you can do as a quarterback.
Watch 7.
Watch Bowler right here. Watch him. He's going to get out in front. Lay him out. Oh, he went up top. Egbert is such a hard guy to get a hold of. Kind of like Quentin Griffin with Oklahoma. You know, he's at low center of gravity, low to the ground, kind of hides behind those big linemen. Oklahoma, of course, getting beat to it.
Back to the running back they go. And this time it's the walk-on Michael Porter who moves up to second team simply because they lost Terrell Williams this week with a knee injury.
And Steve, a moment ago, Chris Rose mentioned Tyler Ebel for UCLA. He's ripped off 5 straight 100-yard games for the Bruins since becoming a starter right down the road in Tucson tonight. And UCLA, you know, they've had their problems. Corey Moss got knocked out. He was having a great season and on an already illustrious career. And unfortunately, he had an ankle injury that set him out the rest of the season, but they're playing with a couple young freshman quarterbacks.
2nd and 3, they run Porter again, and Michael Porter gets the first down. He's never carried the football this year. And Michael Porter comes into this game and rips off 7 and then gets the first down. You know, the one thing they said, he's a walk-on, he's tough, he's from Woodside, California. Laid the wood right on Arizona State's defense there. And now they get Egbert back in the game. It'll be 1st and 10 at the Sun Devil 33.
Well, if you're Brent Guy, the defensive coordinator, I think you got to blitz right here, Steve. I think you got to bring someone. Mason Unt, number 52. He's moving around right here. Keep an eye on him.
They have single coverage on Ward, but they're going to right side, and there's the blitz. And Bowler's hit as he throws.
Well, the blitz is number 48, Terrell Suggs. That's the blitz. He's a one-man wrecking crew. Watch T-Sizzle come off the corner. Look at him. Look at how fast he is. Steve, this guy is so good. Let me tell you something. If he's compared to Andre Carter, let me tell you something. There's a lot of people. There's a lot of people watching him
These are
too.
his best moves. He said the club move he learned from an NFL great, the spin, the dip, the bull, but the best is the speed rush.
He's going to give all kinds of NFL tackles problems whenever he decides to.
0.5 in the 40 for a guy who's 255 pounds. Here it comes again. This time, Bowler steps up, runs away from it, and is hit and knocked down after gaining just 1 yard. Oh, I'm telling you what, if you're an offensive tackle,
hey,
this is impossible.
Hey, Steve, you know what I like about Terrell Suggs more than anything else? His motor's always running. Watch it. He misses it, but watch. He continues after Bowler. Get out of my way, Brandon Hall. Get out of my way. I like Suggs. And he likes me. Well, he did yesterday.
I have no comment there. Where can I go with that statement?
McConan in the slot. He's dropped 3 balls tonight, Steve. But you know what? You still got to keep an eye up on here, right here.
Bowler this time with time. And he tried to hit LaShawn Ward through a little behind him. It will be 4th down of some distance. 48 yards.
Well, his long's 51. And he's 2 for 2. 2 of 2 plus 50. So he's got the leg.
It is, as they would say in Germany, sehr gut.
I say Prost. That's what I say. Cheers.
Mark the crowd of better than 45,000. They'll turn out. I mean, we saw the biggest crowd here on a Fox Sports Net game back in 1996 when they won the Pac-10 title.
And you know what?
Over California.
Steve, the people will come back here in the Valley of the Sun.
It was the biggest crowd ever, over 74,000.
Well, Gene Smith knows how to win, the AD. Dirk Cutter knows how to win, the head coach. And no disrespect to the Cal Bears. I mean, you know what? Cal with Jeff Tedford is going to remember how they win too. And
Cal has to keep Jeff Tedford.
Oh, and they've done a nice job though. They're building around their football program. They've had great basketball programs in the past, but you know what? The football program is going to put you on the map and keep you on the map.
Flags all over the place as Hagan may have been held by Asamoah, but Asamoah's pointing at Hagan saying, hey, he held me first.
But at the end of the day, if I'm a quarterback coming out of school anywhere in the country, I'm looking at these 2 schools. And I'm telling you, because of the systems and the head coaches.
Well, but what Pac-10 school doesn't have a great throwing system?
Exactly.
Norm Chow at USC.
I know.
Bob Toledo at USC. Rick Neuheisel at Washington. Mike Price. They're all.
Both flags are the same foul. Pass interference defense.
Well, you look at
high school quarterback.
You know what? You look at these 2 guys. You look at these 2 guys in particular, though. And Dirk Cutter's had some great passers under him. Tedford, he's had Joey Harrington,
Keely Smith.
He remember now.
Carr.
Yeah, remember he got after David Carr too. So
Super Bowl champion Trent Dilfer had him.
Dirk Cutter, Bart Hendricks up at Boise State. That guy blistered the NCAA record book.
There are 16 Pac-10 quarterbacks currently on NFL rosters.
I believe it.
Oh, the blitz, the fumble, the pickup. Tully Banzigane picks up the loose football, and now California has a chance to reclaim the lead.
Went right into the end zone with this one.
The turnovers are back to square one. Bowler, there's the screen. Oh, boy, is he leveled by Alfred Williams with Bowler. And what was that flag about? Very late.
I'll tell you what it's going to be. It's going to be a helmet-to-helmet contact.
Okay.
I guarantee it. And you know what? That was it was actually a clean play by Alfred Williams. Yep, he's in the head. And I'll tell you why this is so sensitive. It's what's happening up at the NFL, Steve. The viciousness of the hits. The viciousness of the hits. See where the helmet, okay. And when you use the helmet as a battering ram, that's when the flag comes out. And you're seeing it in the NFL. I mean, these guys are getting tagged with $200,000 fines, man.
Players are bigger and faster than they've ever been.
Granted, the average salary is far above what I made when I played in the NFL, but the reality is it's still a lot of money. It ain't about the money. It's about the safety of the individuals playing it.
It's about the Benjamins with you. 7 seconds left in the third quarter.
Always.
Igber, nice move to get back to the middle. It looked like he had nothing outside. Then he darts up the middle and gains 3. That's the end of the third quarter with the score tied at 38. You're watching College Football Saturday presented by Kyocera on Fox Sports Net.
The commissioner of the Pac-10, Dwayne Lindbergh, he decided, you know what, heck, I can't fly out tonight. I had a 10 o'clock flight. I'm not going to get out of this game till 9:55. So, well, heck, you're going to be locked in here too. I'll tell you what, you know what? We can hang around and talk football. How's that?
This is a great game. That's all you want to see.
It's a great
38-38 starting the fourth quarter.
Okay.
Steve Physiak, Tom Ramsey, Dwayne Lindbergh, and Lewis Johnson. And there is Terrell Suggs. Already set the Pac-10 single season sack record with his 19th and a half in the first half. Timeout called.
Boy, you know what?
By ASU, that they're done.
Is that the second or the third?
It's their second. Apparently they did not use the one, but twice they've had timeouts called inside the 5-yard line. Terrell Suggs, what kind of game does he have? There's the one that set the Pac-10 mark. Punishing quarterbacks.
And Steve, you know what? It's not so much always the sack, but look at the speed factor and it's the chaos that comes with number 48. It's just reckless abandon on the field. Check out, he's one of the semifinalists for the Lombardi Award.
He should get it.
He should get it. Well, you know, I tell you what though, you know who else is really good? This guy right here, Tommy Harris, Oklahoma, Terrell Suggs right there. Those two guys.
Nobody means more to their team, to their defense.
No, I'd argue Tommy Harris is as important as Terrell Suggs. And Bob Stoops will say the same thing. Now, who's the better player? Flip a coin. They're both great players. Flip a coin. I'm serious.
Their defense dramatically improved. And they have a guy who takes up too many people. I mean, they double and triple team him all the time.
You got to
one guy said because you have a guy like Suggs, he's made it easier for other guys on our defense to make plays. Here we go, 2nd and goal for Cal. How about this? They go Joe Igber, and Igber gets nothing. Right at the line of scrimmage, he is met by Brett Hudson, Shane Jones. That's the way they send the signs in. No more, hand signals. Just write them on a piece of paper.
22, counter ISO, play action. You know what's going to come. That's the tendencies they're saying. Counter, ISO, play action. Just going to cut the whole playbook.
And there's the play action. There's Bowler sprinting, throwing, incomplete. LaShawn Ward, and Bowler was not silly as he was sprinting towards that left side.
That's a hard throw for a quarterback, Steve. That's an awfully hard throw. Move it to your left, okay? Flushed out. Watch. But LaShawn Ward's working for him, okay? Mason Hunt's the guy that gets a hand on him. Catch the ball.
You're right.
You know, the ball's there.
The 1 foot inbound. That's why Kyle went down. Disgust.
Well, just or disbelief.
Catch the football. Now for the lead, Mark Jensen from 20. Hit one earlier from 48.
10-11 inside. Close range.
Dead, solid, perfect.
Yep. Wow. How about that? Short field. Once again.
Early moments of the fourth quarter and 79 points on the board. 41 for Cal, 38 for ASU. For a Kyocera game break, let's go to our College Football Saturday studio with Chris Rose.
All right, guys, let's take you behind the woodshed, better known as Manhattan, Kansas. Seneca Wallace to Bobby Walker. Doop. He's picked off 3 times today. K-State has outscored its last 4 opponents 210-24. They're still playing. Also, Georgia all over Ole Miss in this one. Bulldogs, one of those one-loss teams praying for either a Miami or Ohio State loss, right, guys?
You would think. People hoping Ohio State loses now.
Miami has some tough games in their future, though. I mean, they will host Virginia Tech. Last time we checked, they were beating Tennessee.
And that's at Virginia Tech, right? Miami has to go.
That's at Miami.
Oh, that's at Miami. Oh, there you go. Okay, so Miami is gonna. Well, that's good for them. That's good for them.
And Ohio State are in the driver's seat, but Ohio State again has to play Michigan. They were not impressive today in a victory for Purdue. They barely survived.
I like Michigan. I like Michigan.
Let's take a look at the BCS. They are so bright that they picked Oklahoma to move to #1, even though Miami was the national champion a year ago, and they lost.
Oklahoma's out. Now Miami. You think that Miami would move back up on top of the BCS, having now beaten Tennessee pretty soundly, and Ohio State having a little problem there, beating Purdue. But Steve, that means Texas and Washington State will both jump up. Oklahoma's going to probably. You'd think Oklahoma would move below Washington State. That's what I would think. That Notre Dame had some problems with Navy today.
You know who else deserves a BCS bowl if they win out? USC. They are playing great football, and they have had the toughest schedule in the entire country. USC's playing some great ball.
Well, and their only loss was at Washington. It was at Washington State in the conference. They have actually 2 losses on the year. They lost the other game to. Let me put on my thinking cap just for a minute. Kansas State at Manhattan. That's right, Manhattan's a good thing. I knew that. I watched that film. They almost could they have won that game?
Walter finds his tight end Pinker. He breaks free, gets the first down up near the 40-yard line. Andrew Walsh is trying for his second 500-yard passing game this year.
Well, sure. We got representation from the conference. Dwayne Lindbergh's here. He's counting the yards. It's
4-4-7.
4-4-7. He can get to 536 pretty quick.
Now we've got 15 and a half
One
minutes
throw.
left. Will we have 35 points scored in the third quarter?
He's going to set a new record tonight.
38 points scored in the third quarter.
He's going to better his record. Oh, look at that.
Lightfoot, first down. We're here at Sun Devil Stadium in Tempe, Arizona for a whale of a game with California and Arizona State. Steve Biziak, Tom Ramsey, Lewis Johnson, and we have seen great passing by Kyle Bowler and this man, Andrew Walter.
Look at the velocity he gets on this ball, Steve. It is, I mean, this is like a Bledsoe-esque ball. The ball just has like flames coming off.
27 of 43 for 478 yards now for Andrew Walter. Wow. And they never run, or they can't run.
Well, I think they can.
Let's take a look at Andrew tonight.
Andrew Walter, all he does, he knows about the end zone, okay? Sean McDonald, touchdown. Sean McDonald, touchdown. Touchdown, Skylar Fulton.
4 touchdowns on the night, 25 on the year.
Yeah, don't forget that 85-yarder to Lightfoot. Not bad.
Walter under pressure, unloads, and there's a tackle behind the line of scrimmage on a beautiful play by Wendell Hunter. Is he fast with the football?
Wendell Hunter, Steve, I'm telling you, he is like the diamond in the rough for the Cal defense. 28, 45, 472. You just said it. 14
shy of 500.
28 shy.
And he didn't even start the season. Chad Christensen was the starting quarterback, but Dirk Cutter said this is a kid who never got down on the staff or himself. He was ready every time we called on him, and now he is the man. Arizona State is 4 for 13 in this game, converting third downs. It's third down and 16, and you'll see a blitz coming. Oh, somebody moved.
Right tackle. Jazz White, the true freshman, Steve. And here's a guy who's he's a cousin.
Ball start. Offense. 5-yard penalty. Down remains third.
He's the cousin of Todd Heap, of course, the brilliant former ASU tight end, now a brilliant tight end with the Baltimore Ravens. And, you know, you look at Chaz White, he was a state finalist in the shot put in the discus. He's an awful big kid, 6'4", 300-pounder. But, you know,
he's a true freshman.
He's a true freshman.
Now they need 21 yards on third down. They'll spread him out. They have single coverage on Lightfoot wide left. Watch him. Kaplan is in the slot. They go deep. There's Lightfoot. He almost one-handed it. There is no flag. He thought he had his right arm pinned to his side, but the coverage came from Jameel Powell. It'll be fourth down.
You know, Jameel Powell makes a great play, Steve, because he's stride for stride with Lightfoot. Watch him. He might get that left arm, might be on that right arm. Jameel Powell, that's a great play. Watch it. Of course he's got his arm tied up.
Because he's pushing off Powell.
He's a good DB. Wow, I mean, Jameel Powell's got that left arm on his right arm, and he's holding him down. And that's incidental contact. So that'll fly. That's okay. Chance for Arizona State to pin him back deep. Like I said,
the end zone.
There's a chance.
But the chance comes up empty. And now Cal will take over at their own 20-yard line with a 3-point lead, 41-38. Washington, the Huskies win, beating Oregon State 41-29. USC all over Stanford 49-17. And UCLA leading Arizona. USC goes to 7-2. They're now 5-1 in the conference. And here goes Igber flashing up the middle. And Joe Igber gets the first down. Gain of almost 17. Igber all of a sudden piling up some good yardage.
Yeah, Washington, you know, they're not getting away.
15 yards for Joe.
Well, you know, we talked about them being able to run the ball or not being able to run the ball. And Igber's one of those guys you got to keep an eye on the whole game, Steve. But you mentioned Washington State a moment ago. The one stat that just jumps out at me, I'll tell you in a minute after this play, because it is so intriguing. I'm kind of blown away by it.
We're all waiting with bated breath. Igber. Alfred Williams backs him up. The floor is yours.
Okay, so what's important? What's important in offensive football besides scoring? Time of possession, right? Washington State is last in the Pac-10 in TOP, time of possession. They average about 27 minutes.
Arizona State.
Yet, Washington State's number 2 in scoring in the Pac-10, 35 points per game, and number 2 in total offense. Okay.
But both of them are quick strike teams.
Right. But it still is amazing to me. Opportunistic football, quick strike teams, but still, you think you control the ball some.
Igber close to a first down. How about that? It was a passing down. Second and long. Second and 12. And they run Igber, and he gets about 10, 11 back. You know, Kyle Bowler is 0 for his last 6 and only 1 for 9 in the second half. They really need to get that running game going. They have a 3-point lead, but that certainly is not enough against the potency of Arizona State's offense.
You know, but you look at the Huskies this year, and they're able to throw the ball a lot, but they've had trouble running it too. So right now, run or pass, I say run.
And they will. Igber, they may have gotten by the face mask, and yes, it will be an automatic first down for Cal.
Yeah, Shane Jones all ripped Big Joe's helmet off.
What a nice kid he is, too.
Watch this. There is a gargantuan type hole. And there goes Jones. Oh, wow. Off came the helmet. Wow.
You know, his goal is not to play in the NFL, although that might be one of them. Do you know what his goal is? He's a civil engineering major. He wants to work on the Big Dig in Boston. You know how they're chewing up all of the area for the traffic to come through a little easier?
Well, having lived in Boston for 5 years, Steve,
they're going to need Joe's help.
They're going to, yeah, they need Joe's help and a lot of other people that know Joe.
That Big Dig has lasted almost a century. Have you ever been to that city? He was born in Nigeria, but raised in Honolulu. His dad is a professor in Hawaii. His mom, Teresa, is a teacher. 124 yards rushing by Joe Igber. And they spin him down.
As Igber come over and talk. I believe he was talking to Ron English. No, he couldn't have been. I'm sorry. My bad. My bad completely. Ron Gould, sorry, my bad.
They swing it back to Igber. Arizona State steps out. This is Igber. He should have lost about 5, and somehow he escapes for 5. And I have no idea how Kyle got on the football. Bowler had thrown 6 straight incompletions and then somehow finds it.
Watch this. Slow it down right about here. Okay, this is a phone booth, and he gets out of the phone booth with Mason Hunt. How'd you do that? That's amazing. Those are moves now. 3rd and 4 for the Bears. This is going to be a make it or break it, possibly for the game here.
And ASU showing a 4-man rush, but now blitz might come from the corner. It does. It's picked up. Bowler rips it, completes it. First down, McConan.
Well, Steve, when McConan had to hang on to the ball, he dropped 3 balls tonight, but when he had to come down with the ball in a timely situation, he did. Big players make big plays. Watch, he's going to come up, get right in this hole right here. Ball's going to come out, okay, and get right there. And it's a wonderful throw and a wonderful catch. McConan comes out, he finds a hole right there. Little seam, little spots between defenders. You got windows that open and close, and right there, Bowler just finding the apex of that window and drilling the ball right in there.
His 4th catch of the game for 40 yards. Now Bowler tries to dump it off to Igber. Igber sprints to the end zone. Touchdown!
Wow. You know, we're raving about Andrew Walter's numbers, but I bet you Bowler's numbers right now they're starting to add up too. He was 50% in the first half for about $130. 144 in the first half, 3 touchdowns. Watch this little short throw. Okay, they release the ball's completed behind the line of scrimmage, so they can release the lineman down the field. That little smash screen that so many teams run. And Igber, boy, is he impressive. He gets the ball. Civil engineering and all.
Cal for a 10-point lead. It is good. 48-38. Bowler's 4th touchdown pass of the night. Joe Igber just tremendous on that last drive to give Cal a 10-point lead.
You know, Terrell Suggs off the corner, Steve. How do you neutralize a great player? Go over him, go under him. Just get around him. Bowler to Igber to close out the Cal scoring drive, Nissan scoring drive. 8 plays, 80 yards, 5 rushes, 3 passes on that last series by Cal. Igber on the night, 23 rushes, 122. Pretty darn impressive, I'd say.
155 rushing and receiving. And now the kickoff by Jensen. Returnable. Arizona State from their 5 is Hakeem Hill. And Hill muscles his way to the 25. For a Kyocera game break, let's go to our College Football Saturday studio with Chris Rose.
All right, Steve, check out Arizona's first touchdown of the night. Nick Costa eludes the rush in the end zone. Just says, just go as far as you can go. Andre Thurman does. He avoids the DB. He's off and running 92 yards on the touch. I'm winded just watching it. Tom, what was your furthest TD pass? 17 yards?
Oh, now come on. How far did he say? Oh, no. I think my longest was like 80 or 85.
It was a screen.
It was against Cal. JoJo Townsend and I.
It was JoJo.
It was the hookup. That's what I'm talking about.
Well, here's a catch for.
Oh, did they fumble again?
Turnovers the story. And both coaches said turnovers would be the story. That has been the theme all year long. And Arizona State, down by 10, suffers a crucial turnover as Marcus Daniels with the pickup.
Now watch, little throw and catch across the field. Marcus Daniels, Steve. Marcus Daniels caused the two biggest plays tonight. He was the one that caused the earlier fumble with Arizona State down, closing in the red zone. He put the hat on the ball. Burt Watts recovered the ball tonight, and then just now making the play and recovering it. Cal takeaways, 30 this season, 4 today. They came in 4th in the country
last year.
They came in 4th in the country in turnover margin at plus 15. That's impressive. That's opportunistic football.
Egbert, nothing.
Really boils down to want to, doesn't it?
Let's go down to the sideline to Lewis Johnson.
Hey, Steve, you and Tom have been talking a lot today about the seniors. This is their last day at Arizona State, playing their last game in Sun Devil Stadium, 17 of them. Many of them have NFL dreams, and I was talking to the sports information director here, Mark Brand, and he said he had credentialed more NFL scouts than he has in a long, long time. They're here to see Cal quarterback Kyle Bowen. You know they're looking at Terrell Suggs, Nnamdi Asomugha, who had the pick and the touchdown return. But can you imagine how much they're salivating over Andrew Walter? But he's only a sophomore. Can't talk about him, right?
And Sean McDonald.
Oh, we can talk about it.
Bowler rips it. Touchdown, Cal!
Now,
Jonathan McConan.
Do you believe me about Kyle Bowler now?
5 touchdown passes.
Come on.
He has moved up so much.
Yes, he has.
He needed a year like this. He came out of high school, Hart High School, Southern California, with great expectations.
Yep. Kyle Bowler, why? This is just a strike, Steve. Sets up, not overstriding. I mean, boy, that's pretty. McConan, he made the big catch on 3rd down in the series before last. This one's just a nice catch of a post, wide open. Bring on Mark Jensen, drives it through the uprights. Cal 55.
55 points. Wow, California the most since they had 70 against Baylor. 18-point lead. Just under 6 minutes to go. Now the return for Arizona State and Josh Golden moving it up past his 25-yard line. But they need some scoring and in a hurry. But Kyle Bowler, this is the best game he may have had since the Washington game, where he was player of the week in the Pac-10 with 266 yards and 5 touchdown passes. 5 more touchdown passes tonight.
Think about all the great quarterbacks that have played at Cal, Steve, and you go back to Steve Bartkowski and Joe Kapp and Joe Roth and you know, Mike Pawlowski and Pat Barnes, and these guys. That's impressive. Kyle Bowler, though, I was impressed with him before tonight's game, but I'm more impressed with him now. And I know the scouts are too. Now see, that time, Andrew Walter's out of the tackle box, so he can fire the ball up 30 rows up if he'd like. He got called earlier tonight when he was still inside the tackle box, theoretically.
There's the timeout story, and Arizona State burned 2 early in the first half, third quarter.
Did I say Joe Kapp earlier? I sure did, didn't I?
Yes, you did.
My good friend Craig Morton, my good friend Joe Kapp. I had dinner with him about a year and a half ago down in Orlando, Florida, of all places, and he is one of the funniest quarterbacks I've ever sat with.
Another guy from Hart High School in Newhall, California.
That's right.
It's like Kyle Bowler.
Wow, you know what? Andrew Walter, all 36. Wow. 3rd down, he just needs 10 here.
Incomplete.
Well, I was going to say, do you go for it on 4th? The answer is no, because Dirk Cutter sends up the punt team.
Cal leads by 17. Here is the punt. Cal will not even go close to it. They'll just let the ball roll. Right now, the clock is
the enemy.
The enemy for Arizona State.
And the clock is your friend.
Cal.
Game management, you're coming right along. I think we're in chapter 3 right now, about 10 chapters worth of game management. But Fizz, I got to tell you, I'm impressed because you retain quite a bit. And you got so much going on the ball all the time. your daughter just turned 16, and I gotta share this with the folks at home because my wife, Audra, will appreciate this.
Yes.
For your daughter's 16th birthday, you and your lovely wife provided your daughter and 3 of her friends to go to a taping of an episode of Friends.
It was a fabulous experience.
How cool is that?
That you go to Friends in a limo.
In a limo, to boot.
Nearing the 5-minute mark here, and Cal up by 17 over Arizona State. Now 4:57 remaining. California up 55-38 at one time. This game was tied at 38. Arizona State ranked number 25 in the nation coming into this contest and hosting California. Golden Bears, though, with big wins this year. How about that? If they win this game, they will have set a record. They have never beaten 3 nationally ranked teams on the road in one season in the history of the school.
Pretty darn impressive.
Well, the Bears are golden again in Berkeley. I mean, Cal's looking for the first winning season since 1993 when Bruce Snyder led the team to a 10-2 record. There's Jeff Tedford. What a job he has done. This team was woeful. I mean, they were last in scoring, last in scoring defense, last in total offense, most penalties last year, and he's turned it around, and they're going to be 6-4 if they can hold on here.
You know, more importantly, Steve, I think what Jeff Tedford provided to the Cal program was just the confidence to go in to every game knowing you might win it. And you know what? There's something about it when players feel good about themselves, even if you come off a loss, to have a coach say, hey, you know what? We expect to win, so let's win. And it's a great philosophy, and he learned under 2 guys, Jim Sweeney at Fresno State, Mike Bellotti at Oregon, who always expect to win.
Egbert flying forward. Let's go down to the sideline to Lewis Johnson.
Steve, you guys have been talking about it. You know, Cal and Arizona State have really been called the 2 surprise teams of the Pac-10 this year, both increasing their winning percentages dramatically when Cal has it, and the increase in the defensive takeaways, that has helped the Golden Bears go from 1-10 last year to 5-4 so far this season.
Great point, Lewis. I mean, that goes right along the lines of gaining that confidence, of believing you can win. I mean, I'd ask Lewis, as a track star, when you line up in the blocks, what goes through your mind? You got to believe you can win the race, right?
That is what Cal is trying to do. I mean, and they will become bowl eligible if they win this game. But the NCAA met yesterday to talk about Cal's appeal to play in a bowl game this year. The Bears are on probation. They're appealing the loss of a bowl game for this season. Bears should find out from the NCAA in what, 2 weeks? It's 3rd and 3. Egbert sneaking forward. He needed to get to the 38-yard line for a first down. It looks like it'll be just shy. The executive producer of Fox Sports Net is Bill Borson. The coordinating producer